Testing, testing. Okay. Alright, let's get going. So. Alright. What's going on? Okay, so let's knock out the audio real fast. Alright, now let's see. How is her audio being treated currently? Alright, so we're boosting her. Let's give her like a real boost. But then let's bring down her threshold. So like 20? Okay, it already was. Never mind. I don't like 4 to 1. That makes them sound a little weird. What's up, Game Dev Boost? What's happening? Just saying hi, can't stay? Well, good to have you anyway. What's happening, brother? Hey, update on my paper. My professor wants me to do an entire podcast next semester on 1979 Iranian Revolution. Nice. A podcast. Your professor wants you to do that. They want you to do that with them or something? Or what's the deal with the podcast? Okay, so do I want a limiter on her? Maybe. That sounds weird, but whatever. This looks weird, but that's fine. And then we're going to send that over to 2, which is where we're going to have the movie sit. I also want to boost the movie because movies tend to get really quiet. We can go a little bit more aggressive on the movie, which also helps us with audio. And then we're going to go down to like a nice 35. Yeah, a nice little 35. And then I wish I could just like double click on these and just punch in a number. That'd be nice. Because I always want this to be somewhere around 100, and then want this to be like 150, 160, something like that. And then he's going to listen. And then the movie probably needs its own limiter, and I'll probably push that limiter down a little bit more. And let's boost the movie up a bit, just to try to get that guy a little bit more closely related to where Arianna is. And let's see how that goes, because one of the problems we tend to have is when we boost it too much like that, you end up raising the noise floor like too high. So let's see what a little quiet scene sounds like.
Now, according to these papers, all the Jewish families in this area have been accounted for, except...
I mean, the official movie name spells it as bastard, so with any luck, shouldn't be a problem using the original title. Shakan, you would think that wouldn't be a problem, but they, the algorithm will actually flag you even if you misspell it. Like if you try to spell fuck or something like that with like a F asterisk CK, it'll get you. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be annoying. It is what it is. Like one of the problems I have, I don't even know how I'm gonna fucking do this. It's so annoying. YouTube is like really cracking down on swearing. Bastard is probably fine, but I'm just nervous because YouTube is just demonetizing everybody right now for swearing. It's gonna be for a big project and to connect it to today's Iranian Revolution to be the hijab completely. You mean to ban the hijab completely? Neat.
I'm here for this a little bit.
Okay, so that's that one, and then we get rid of that guy. And we end up here. Okay, yep, all looks the same. Okay, sounds good. So, okay, so let's see what this sounds like.
Oh my goodness.
You got to kill Jews?
I'm here for this a little bit. Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
Why you get to Carnegie Hall, don't you?
Practice.
That don't sit well with us.
Ja, wenn du die Uniform ablegst, weiß niemand mehr, dass du naht.
Movie's a little quiet. Also, what's that buzzing sound?
Oh, ew. I feel like I want to vomit for her. Oh my gosh.
Und Antonio's Kameraassistent Dominique de Coco. Signori, questo è un vecchio
Hey, what's up,
amico
Maple?
mio.
Just dying over here.
Oh, they're so screwed.
Buongiorno.
Thanks, Maple. I appreciate you. Hey, did you see, well, you probably haven't, but I was just thinking about it. I forgot Zemo was in this movie. Yeah. That's the bad guy from, what do you call it? I forgot he was in this movie. Or I remembered he was in this movie, I just forgot he played Zemo. Yeah, Happy New Year, Maple. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's the bad guy. Okay, so oh god, where am I at? Okay. Theoretically the audio is fine, except for some minor changes I need to make, which is going to be this guy right here. So let's do yeah, let's go ahead and build these real fast. I keep almost giving myself syncing issues because these are not at the end. I don't know why I don't just fix that right now. And then you guys are not. Yep, okay, good. Okay, so this one is the one that needs to have the open effects, audio effects, multi-band compressor, and then get that to the muffled version, put that on there, and then let's go ahead and also reduce the audio volume down by 5, and then let's take all of these and make these into one audio multicam, which is why I don't love, like, multi-clip makes more sense. Multicam sounds like, you know, it has to be camera oriented, and I know that's kind of what they're going for, but I don't necessarily have to do cameras. I don't really ever do it on cameras, but whatever, I get their idea. So this goes here, move that up one. Let's go ahead and pop into here, get rid of that happy little audio video feed or track, and then now we've just got these, which should be fine. Yep, okay, sweet. Now, although I will say one little thing is all of these could probably stand to be just a teensy bit tall, I mean louder, right?
Obviously.
What do you say now? You're at 0. What happens when you get the loudest that you get? When do you clip? When do you clip? Oh, the problem is that, okay. It probably starts clipping at like some, no, it's not really clipping anywhere. Fascinating. Okay, is there like a normalize button that can keep it from clipping? Normalize audio levels. Target is -10. Sample peak program, true peak. Funny how they're able to be utterly ruthless on demonetization, yet they provide absolutely no system for remonetization. You know what's funny? Chican is that I was just talking about this. I was saying the thing that really drives me freaking crazy about YouTube is we have, there's a million things that drive me crazy. Sorry, let me just explain. So one thing that's really annoying is that when we have a content ID problem, which means that like my video was flagged because the movie owners are pissed that we either had like some of the music or the movie or whatever in the video, normally it'll tell me where the section is that's offending them, and then I can cut that out and they'll like reassess. What's really annoying is that when it's an ad issue because of like swearing, especially now that they just changed the policy, and so that's why I'm getting like demonetized. It's like, just give me an opportunity to hop in there and edit out the swearing. Like, I'll do it. It'll take me an afternoon. It'll suck, but it'll get done. And then I don't just like make no money on it. And same thing for YouTube. It's like, you guys they don't make money if the video's not monetized either. So it's like, just let me monetize a stupid freaking video. Okay, so that didn't do anything. Okay, let's try True Peak. Ooh, it's actually going to take a second to do something. I know it's a long movie, but that's a long time. We'll say screw it, whatever. I don't care. It normally works out fine. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to mess around too much. I already tried something new. I already tried a different new thing out. And I can change these? Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so... Yep, all right, so I got these. Now let's go ahead and... Nope, actually, we don't need to do that. We just need to... Let's see, it's called... Oh no, these are both called movie-sized. Oh, well, they shouldn't be. Can I just change the name? Clip attributes. Video name. Movie-sized. So, I don't know. That should be called movie something. We'll just call this like, I don't know. Movie focus. And then this one's called clip. Boom. This one's called Arianna. Focus. And boom. Okay, great. Now, the problem with this is that didn't update anything here. So what are you? New compound clip. Sorry guys, I tried something new recently, or just now, and I'm not familiar with it, so it's making like my labeling process awkward. But that should be okay. Yeah, I think I still have a plan. So let's try this. Let's do like compound clip and call this like, I don't know, movie clips with a Z because we're cool. And then let's take movie clips and then let's turn that into a multicam. And this should be something that mostly works how I think it would. I don't love doing it this way, but it is doable. So then I got to go into flatten here and then deflatten this part of it. And then also just make sure. Yep, okay, that's still the right order. Now what happens when I press 1 and 2? That's 2, that's 1. We're good. We're good.
Merci.
Also, he plays a bad guy so well.
Okay, cool. So it looks like that part's okay.
Lange her.
He's keeping a strong eye out for homegirl.
Okay, that's 1 and that's 2. Okay, so that's backwards. So let's fix that real fast. I thought I had this right. I was wrong. Boom. Okay, back here. I may have figured out a way to do this and save a little bit of CPU power, but I'm not so sure. We'll have to find out once we start editing. But for now, it seems like it's more responsive than it normally is.
Oh my gosh, I just felt my back crack. Oh my god.
Okay, so that's that part. Now I just need to add a last limiter here, and this guy should be relatively tall. Let's give him like a -10. And the game plan is just to try to keep that bad boy from...
Oh my gosh, I just felt my back crack.
Okay, that works, because the game plan, what you're trying to accomplish here is make it so that her audio never breaks above a certain amount, the movie's audio never breaks above a certain amount, but when they combine together, they don't become both too loud to break over a certain amount, and then you've got yourself a nice even audio situation going on with minimal artifacting from over compression, which is the thing I'm trying to fix now. Yeah, they're not prepared to work with content creators, which could really bite them in the ass long term, especially if people are looking for a reason to move to the next big platform. Well, there's a couple problems going on. There is a couple problems with that. So, for instance, they don't need to work with us because YouTube basically has the market cornered on long form video content. So that's, you know, why we have monopoly laws and we're supposed to be like trust busting and things like that, is so that the company has to have some competition so that they can all, you know, fight over who has the better user experience. The second problem is that there's not really a lot of companies who have the ability to genuinely compete with YouTube. That's why most of them don't attack YouTube head on. Instead, you know, TikTok, or honestly, you know, before TikTok, it was Vine, Musical.ly, TikTok, all of them were smart because they were like, well, let's not try to do long form content. Let's try to do really hyper short form, phone only content. YouTube isn't like the spot for that. And then that's a way for us to kind of attack them from the side. So I don't think anything that lets you put a video on YouTube is considered like a big YouTube competitor. A lot of the companies who have figured things out have figured out a way to compete with YouTube, kind of like in a way where YouTube is not really fulfilling that for the user experience, you know, as is. So the problem is, like, YouTube doesn't really have to worry about, you know, us at all, because I'm just replaceable, you know. They'll just scab me with somebody else. They don't care. And then the other thing is that not a lot of companies have the infrastructure to be able to compete with YouTube. One of the issues is that YouTube started in 2005. They got acquired by Google around then, and Google's owned by Alphabet. I mean, these are billions and billions and billions of dollar companies. And what happened is they dumped a massive amount of revenue, you know, into trying to get this thing started, but like 15 years ago. So everything was cheaper back then. You know, it's like you got in the ground floor on something before everyone else really got their pants, you know, above their waist. And so now YouTube is just kind of grandfathered in, and anyone else who wants to hop in, if they wanted to do the same thing YouTube did, it would cost them like 20 times as much as it did cost YouTube. So it's like just completely unfeasible. Huge nightmare. I hate this company. I hope it goes under. Yeah, Maple would be vomiting at the milk scene. Yeah, probably. What's up, Reaction Vault? What's up, Arif? All right, so that's this part. Now, here's the other problem I'm going to have now. So YouTube has recently started... They, like, just changed their rules recently. So we're going to have to... Okay, yeah. We're going to have to... Here, let's... Hold on one second. Link these clips. Okay, there we go. Word. Okay, cool. Let me fix that. So one of the things is, like, no more, like, in essence, they're just getting way more persnickety about swearing. I'm probably going to assume that's going to cross over to violence and things like that too. It's really nerve-wracking. I just had Braveheart get demonetized for controversial issues. Controversial issues. I also got demonetized for swearing in the first 15 seconds, which there absolutely is no swearing in the first 15 seconds, so I don't know what they're talking about. So, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just going to be an uphill battle. Okay, so, that's fine.
Danke. Max. Nice.
Okay, cool. So, all that is set up. Now, I got to set up my, I don't know, my hotkeys for, what do you call it? In essence, things like the zooms and stuff. So, I'm trying to walk back the zooms. Slowly but surely. So what do I want? I don't like the, like, fast zoom all that much anymore. I like the snap one, but I don't like the faster moving one. So let's try this. Let's try effects. Okay, so we still want the really slow one. All right, I've got a theory. I got a question. I got a question. What if I were to... Nah, I don't want to do it like that. Never mind, never mind. I had an idea, but it would look stupid. Okay, so... Let's do that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we'll do a little something like that. So that's going to be the slow zoom. Then let's do another one, which is just going to be the snap zoom. And that is... Hide this one. Grab this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, everything is responding better. I have a feeling I may have come up with a better system. Weird. I don't know why I did 5. It's supposed to be 4. How do I shift? I don't remember how to do this. If Braveheart is controversial, best of luck with this one. Yeah, exactly, Fuzzy Curtis. Like, I'm just totally boned. 2009, YouTube had a massive funding boom, the creator program. Most of the subsidized channels shut down or folded into others by 2012. Sounds right. Good evening. Hope you had a great new year. What's up, Eric? How you doing? Can't wait to see that 100,000 YouTube award. You guys really deserved it. Hey, I appreciate that reaction, Vault. I don't know about deserved it, but yeah, it'll be cool to have my first award for sure. I guess that's probably the special one. Well, crap. I don't want this on 5. I don't remember how to adjust these. I'm just totally having a blank. Let's see. Oh, wait. Hold on. I think I got it. This one. Boom. It's been a long time since I've had to do this. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't want 5. We want 4. Let's go ahead and move you right back here, brother. Perfect. Okay, thank you. All right, so that's that part. Then what we want now, I think I'm going to try to see if I can get away with just those 2. But we're going to want some other stuff real fast. So one of the things I'm going to need is going to be basically like a blur. Can I name these? I bet I can. Clip color. There's normally an attribute thingy here. I think someone showed me how to name these before, but I forgot how. Open, reset, fusion, delete, remove attributes. Remove attributes, render in place. Enable clip, whatever. What do you, a file over here? Yeah, okay, sure. Name adjustment clip, whatever. We'll just do it like this. All right, so this one's called like what? Slow, zoom, and then this one will be called snap, zoom, and then this one will be called like you know, I don't know. Just probably blur / gray. I'm not sure these will all survive the transfer, but we'll try anyway, see how it goes. I was wondering if you ever considered a flick called Apt Pupil, or another good one, in my opinion, called Stander. I've never heard of Stander, but Apt Pupil, so Eric, I gotta run you through kind of some philosophy stuff that happens here on YouTube. So one of the problems is that, like, I have a reaction channel, right? So it's not just a matter of covering movies that are good, because people don't watch us to, like, discover movies. They watch us to watch movies that, or to see our reaction to movies that they already like. So they want to see the girls, you know, reacting to movies they've seen. And if we do obscure movies, we tend to do poorly because no one else has seen the movie. So they don't, have an audience to come over and watch it with us, So unfortunately, Apt Pupil is just not really a movie that has enough, market penetration basically is the problem. I would love to cover, movies like that. I wish we were the kind of channel that people came to like discover stuff, but it just doesn't work that way right now, unfortunately. I'm trying to see what I can do, but for now, there's just not a lot of options. Oh, man. Yeah, basically numbers, man. That's it. I'm trying to figure it out. I've been failing for the last 6 months, but I'm trying. I'll figure something else out, or I'll die. But I am absolutely trying my best to figure this out. So now what I need is a power window, and we're just gonna go like from here to here, and then to like here. All right, let's zoom in like we actually care. Yeah, but the Braveheart video is just really frustrating because it's just a matter of like, no, that's not what I asked for. Oh, God. And the Braveheart video is tough because it was a... I hate this. It was just, the system's just wrong. I was not... there isn't any swearing in the first part of the video, and then as far as the controversial issues thing, I mean, like, what? I can't cover Braveheart because of controversial issue. I mean, like, it's one thing if I'm talking about like 9/11 or something. You know what I'm saying? All right. I may regret this later, but whatever. We're gonna try this for now. So that's my power window. And yeah, I think we just have to like desaturate and blur, which sucks. Here's the thing that's really gonna fucking suck about all of this is I'm gonna end up pissing off a bunch of people who are like, why are you over blurring everything? I've seen other people get away with it because they don't realize that the system has changed and gotten more, what kind of blur do I use? But the system's changed and it's gotten like more aggressive. It's gotten more picky. So I can't necessarily. So it just blows because, like, look, I'm with you, man. Like, I wish it wasn't like this either. Maybe that's enough. It's probably enough. So let's test that out. I think that's what I want. Okay, this is an issue. I knew I'd have that issue. Okay, Chad, you knew this would be a problem. How do you fix it? I know. You put it under... Yep, that's it. Okay, cool. No. It's not an issue. I think I got it figured out. I know how to fix that. Okay, cool. So let's compound these clips. And I don't know, we'll just keep calling them zooms because that's what we've been calling them. And then zooms, and we'll turn you into a multicam clip. Bada bing, bada boom. And we'll put you over here, and then we'll get rid of the old ones, and then boom, we'll put you there. And that's angle 1. That's not angle. It's angle 1 when it shouldn't be. Oh, yeah, they're all messed up. Sorry, I gotta fix them real fast. Here we go. Boom, blow them up. Now head back over here. Okay, cool. So that's our little slow zoom. And then this is our snap zoom. Okay, and then this is just our blur effect.
Escape.
And our blur desaturate. And you can mostly see what's going on, hopefully. But it'll let me kind of cut around when, like, something gruesome is happening. For instance, when, homie gets his head carved into, right? Like, I'm going to want to have this.
Oh, the noise.
Yeah, so like for this kind of situation, I'm gonna want something like this.
Oh, I literally almost just took off the headphones. Oh. Oh.
Hopefully, I can get away with it with something like that, is the hope. Like, basically, that versus that. Because there's been, like, reports coming out that people are getting hit for, like, red paint. There's, like, scenes with, like, red paint in it, and it's, like, saying that it's blood. So, I need something. Oh, but it's so annoying. It smells more like BS flags. What's up, Ricky? All right, let's see. Standard South American flick about a police officer turned bank robber. Yeah, so probably the same problem, Eric. What's up, Fahrenheit? So you won't be doing Bellatar 7.5 Hungarian film Satan Tango? Is that one word or two words? Sounds like Satan Tango. No, you know, or like Gene Dealman and stuff like that. But honestly, it's not even movies like that anyway, because it's mostly, you know, about movies that I love, that I know the girls would love, but just still wouldn't see any, you know, views. I probably someday will cover, you know, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. I've been wanting to cover it for the last year. It's just that it's, you know, I know it's going to do poorly, and it's really difficult to like waste the girls' time having them come and do videos that we know are going to do poorly. Yeah, from the British POV, it's a rebellion, I guess. I mean, yeah, sure, but it's a million years ago. I feel like we can move past, you know, controversial issues. Like I said before, if the movie was about 9/11, we could talk, you know. Exactly, Tyler A. So annoying. Yeah, YouTube should not be allowed to dictate what people react to. At the end of the day, although a fantasy-style telling of World War II Inglorious Bastards is still a retelling of history and should be allowed. Well, Mike Devin, the big thing about it is, like, it's a matter of YouTube is kowtowing extremely hard to the advertisers, and advertisers don't really care. They just are trying to make sure that their ads are, you know, being played over things that they hopefully won't end up in the Wall Street Journal, you know, on. So YouTube is just... it's flexing its muscles because they just know. I mean, imagine you're the only guy in town selling steaks, and eventually your steaks are crappy and like rotten, and everyone's complaining, but you're like, well, fuck it. No one else sells steaks, you know? Like, what are you gonna, or like, is any YouTuber really gonna bounce from YouTube and go join TikTok? You know, is any YouTuber really gonna bounce and be like, no, I actually just post on Facebook, you know? I post on Instagram. Like, those are the counter arguments I get, is that like, well, no, they have competition. There's Instagram and Facebook and stuff. And it's like, I mean, if that's what you want to call their competition, then good for you. But I don't really agree. That's fine. We don't have to agree. But, you know, these are the things that are annoying for me. I just wish Pornhub would get to competing with them already. Man, now I don't love like the blocking I've done now. I wish the movie was just a little smaller. I wish Arianna was a little bit bigger. So let's see if we can fix that real fast. Let's see what we can do. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I should be able to do this. So this is Arianna focus. So let's hop into Fusion. Bam. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right. So what do we want to do? I want to take you and what? How big did I make you? I made you 0.7. Let's do point. Maybe let's just put, let's do point, what did I have you at? 6.4. So let's do like 6.7. There we go. Let's do something like that. And all right, that's not very precise. Let's do this. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Sure. Okay, I like that better. Now for Arianna, you're coming from here to here. Did we even do anything with that? How is this not running through a transform? So is this just what it was shot as? There's like no transform? Oh, well that would make more sense. Sure. So let's run you through a transformer as well. And then in the transform, mess with the size. There we go. There we go. Okay. I think that looks a little bit better. Let's try this out. And then that other one's fine. Okay, cool. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, there we go. Much more ergonomic looking. I like that. I just don't, I don't like when we're like all up in their face, like encroaching on them's too heavy. So Not too bad, not too bad. Okay. And then if I want, I can be like, okay, here we go. This is this one. Okay, cool. All right, I think we're set up. Now it's just the long, boring part. 10 o'clock. All right, sweet. Also, we don't know what people in the past haven't gotten away with. Yeah, I agree, actually. That's a great point. A lot of people are like, oh, these guys were fine. Like, we don't know they were fine. People shouldn't mind the blur, especially if they've seen the movie already. We know what's happening. Yeah, you would think so, John, but they still do. Inglorious bitches? No. Inglorious bastards. I feel like Eternal Sunshine's a popular film. Yeah, I feel like it's not. Tyler, I always tell people, like, think about the Walmart test. If you went around to your local Walmart and asked people what they thought about Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, they probably... How many people would you have to ask before they even knew what movie you were talking about? But if you went around Walmart asking people about Speed, you know, or asking people about Braveheart, probably the vast majority know what movie you're talking about, right?
That you could.
Eternal Sunshine's like a popular film in, like, you know, the movie, you know, in like movie head circles. You know, guys like me know about that movie and like that movie, but like my dad never even heard of it. I would watch Eternal Sunshine. I would too. It's one Power Palace film. I agree. I really had a different perspective after watching that film. I agree. So Mike, Devin, that's exactly the problem with YouTube and capitalism. It's just that, like, I can't cover things because they're good. I have to cover things that people will watch. Well, people on average will only watch the most just basic, obvious stuff. So I'm stuck having to cover the most basic, obvious stuff. And it just sucks. It's very frustrating. I'm trying to figure out a different way to do it, but it's really hard because I've failed every time up to this point. So we'll see how it goes. I saw a tweet earlier saying YouTube is going to start demonetizing videos for excessive curse words. Yep, Ricky, that has already happened. I have had multiple of my videos demonetized. Do you feel that YouTube feels more like a 9 to 5 or harder than the 9 to 5? It's substantially harder than a 9 to 5. Yeah, Wanton. Looks like Eternal Sunshine is doing 16K. Schmidt did 36 and Popcorn did 73. Yeah, those are terrible numbers. And Popcorn, like, she can do 100,000 on like stupid movies, you know what I'm saying? Like on Meet Joe Black and stuff like that. Yeah, I never heard of it. Exactly right. Yeah, I subcategorize this. Django and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood are Tarantino's. Yeah, E-Visionist history, revenge trilogy. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Oh, okay, so you're counting those as, yeah, as the. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's exactly a way to think about it. He's kind of taking, you know, here's what I wish would have happened. This would have been better. This would have been nicer. And it's like, yeah, I agree. And it's not so. I don't mind it. It's the only thing now is it just gets a little kitschy after a while. I feel like he's kind of copying himself, and like when you do something too unique and then you keep doing it, it starts to look like a bit of a joke. And that happened with like Wes Anderson. It was like he just had a really extreme style that was really fun and quirky. But after like the 5th movie, it was like, hey man, we get it, dude. Like, all right, come on, man. Jeez. All right, do you use Letterboxd? I do not. Searching their database of films by popularity might give you some ideas if you're looking for some movies for the channel. No, it's not about that. The problem, Tyler, is that there's just 50 million things I have to think about. It's like, is the movie good? Is the movie something that the girls are going to like? Because no one wants to see the girls watch something that they don't like. Because people watch it to see them like it. So that's why our John Wick 3 got torn apart, because Arianna didn't like it. It's got to be popular enough that there's enough people who in the reaction community will watch the movie because enough people in general have seen the movie. Now I have to think about movies that are hopefully less R-rated. Like, we're probably literally going to have to start, like, we're going to have to, like, discontinue covering, like, hard R movies. Tropic Thunder was demonetized. Braveheart was demonetized. This will probably fucking get demonetized, which is really annoying. So it just means, like, I have to, I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be Disney movies from here on out. It's really frustrating, man. I'm annoyed. Yeah, shame it doesn't pull big views, because it definitely seems like a film Maple would dig. I absolutely agree. I mean, there's a lot of movies. I mean, we would have already covered wildly different movies than we've covered up to this point. I have a list of like 100 movies that I would love to cover. We made it like months ago on the chat one time, And they're all movies I'm just like, these are just incredible movies. They're really good, and I just wish we could cover them. But, you know, like The Lighthouse, I'd fucking kill to do The Lighthouse. I would, you know, honestly, like, there's James versus Cinema. Generally speaking, he covers the movies I wish I could cover. It just didn't work out that way. I will be right back. News restroom. Most reactors cutting their face during scenes. I guess that's why. What's why, John? Yeah, it seems Disney's a good bet, but does movies get copyright strikes a lot? Oh, I mean, I don't literally mean Disney movies. I just mean like we're gonna have to cover like, I don't know, just Truman Show level stuff. It's gonna have to. The problem is like YouTube wants it to be. It can't be for kids because it would get demonetized because of Elsa Gate, but it also can't be not kid friendly because in essence, think of advertisers as like moms that are worried about their children. So I'm gonna have to, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to make videos that are not for kids, but if a kid watched it, their mom would be okay with it. And that's where we're gonna have to like live. And here we are with Inglorious Bastards, like finishing out our backlog. After Inglorious Bastards, I got The Patriot. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get through that one too. There's just hella violence and blood and stuff. And it's very, very frustrating. And I wish YouTube would, you know, have some contingency for adults to make content for adults to watch. Oh, man. Well, it is Wu Xiaoling, and it's that, and it's also just this thing of like, you signed a contract saying that you would make your videos a certain kind of way, and then they change the policy, and then they go back and retroactively say, oh, hey, look, all your videos are wrong, let's demonetize them. And it's like, well, no, motherfucker, that's what the contract was back then. Like, this kind of shit would be illegal in real business. And that's part of what's so annoying about the YouTube thing, is that the government to an extent has just decided that like the internet is still the Wild West, even though we've been doing this stuff for like 20 years. And it's just not going to do anything to try to, you know, I don't know, regulate it like it needs to. And, you know, for instance, it's like I used to own a cleaning company. Like if I went and cleaned someone's house and they weren't happy with how I cleaned it, like I still got paid. We could renegotiate and work out, you know, okay, let me go and fix and do blah, 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 whatever. I'll come back and fix stuff. No big deal. But like, I still got paid. You can't just like not pay me. So what do you call it with YouTube? They can just be like, nah, fuck you. Yeah, I know you put in the work or whatever, but like, no, we changed our policy. We don't like how much swearing's in this. Actually, we're going to demonetize your video. Okay, great. Well, let me go back in and re-edit the video so I can, you know, fix the demonetization. No, we don't do that. So just, you know, all right, sucks to suck. And it's like, fuck, man. So I don't know, dude. It's really, it's tough. It's very frustrating. I don't know. I'm just annoyed all the time. Okay.
Ooh, let's get it. Ooh, let's get it. We're watching.
Okay, here we go.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay. Then do a little circle in here.
Ooh, I like that font. I like that font. I like that font. That font. Funky. Funky. Font. Font.
It's just a little awkward because she doesn't really get the T out very fast, but I think this won't be too annoying to listen to. Font. People say that sometimes. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna be like 12-year-olds going forward. I mean, yeah, basically, it's like a lot of content that I used to watch in 2013 already wouldn't like survive in modern Facebook YouTube, and we're just gonna have to get used to like the Facebookification of YouTube. You know, it's like Facebook was cool, you know, before your grandma was on it, and now she is, and it's not cool anymore. And that's just kind of like what the future is. It's just kind of where we're at now, and I wish it wasn't the case. Okay, so boom. Can't imagine kids even watching reactions to movies. Yeah, exactly right. That's the thing. I mean, to be fair, a lot of this shit started back when what's it called? Sorry, I need window mode. Yeah, there we go. A lot of this stuff started back when who was it? It was like that first PewDiePie apocalypse that happened. He was making a video discussing Nazis, and he was doing some memes, and some fucking like some journalist somewhere decided to go to his video and then like refresh the screen. No, this wasn't even a fucking PewDiePie thing. This was a totally different thing. This was someone went and found like actual Nazi propaganda, or he went and found like ISIS videos that were being posted on YouTube, and then he was refreshing until he got like a Coca-Cola ad, and then was like writing an article about, wow, Coca-Cola is like sponsoring terrorism on YouTube, this is crazy. And so obviously the whole thing was just such a wildly, misleading, kind of thing. So of course, just the news ran with it and said, oh, awesome, this is a story, we can do this. So YouTube freaked out. Well, no, first the advertisers freaked out. YouTube said, no, baby, I'm sorry, no, please don't leave. Then they hit up all the advertisers and said, hey, we'll fix it. And that's when they got rid of monetization for channels that were under 1,000 subs. So they changed the partner program to make it harder to be qualified, which was a fair answer to it, because then it made it where if you were going to like start, spouting some like racist BS or whatever, then you couldn't, what do you call it? You couldn't be monetized until you had 1,000 subs. Theoretically, by the time you had 1,000 subs, you're already going to be probably demonetized, or not demonetized, but you're going to be like your channel will probably be canceled for breaking TOS. So that was kind of the initial answer. And I feel like that kind of started the YouTube just telling the corporations like, hey man, we'll do anything. I'll suck your fucking cock, brother. Like, please just leave me. Just let me make money. And, we'll play nothing but Jimmy Kimmel. How about that? That is that cool? You guys like Jimmy Kimmel? You guys like SNL? Come back, please. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Cool. So, that's just what YouTube's been like. And it's funny because it's like I wanted to be a YouTuber since I was like a kid. And then here I am, trying to make it on this platform. And it's just like, God, it just isn't what it was like before. And then trying to, just between, like, it's funny because it's already a full-time job and it's already so annoying just trying to work out what the algorithm like wants from you, you know, and how to try and start, you know, leaning into getting the type of art that you wanted to produce. That's like a big thing that Julian, you know, Smith was all about. Was he hated the idea of us being called, you know, content producers, because it does make it feel like it's just this content farm. It's like, we don't care about what we make. I'm just making content. You guys aren't, you know, you're consumers of content, and that's all our relationship is I'm just like this stupid, like, mediocre content factory, and you guys are just idiot pigs who just eat my, you know, slop that I shill for you. And that's like YouTube's like philosophy, starting a million years ago. You know, I mean, this was way before I was a YouTuber. I heard other, you know, YouTubers complaining about these kind of things, and it's just very disheartening to be, you know, I wanted to be a YouTuber like 10 years ago. I finally am doing YouTube full time, and all the things that those guys were complaining about are just as relevant as they've ever been. And it's like, yeah, of course. So, I don't know, man. I want to figure it out. I'm just so tired now. It really is a lot. And the best part is, like, they keep you so demonetized all the time. I can't ever make enough money to, like, you know, be able to hire more help and then be able to move into a different spot where I can, you know, spend more time trying to work out. Like, I don't have a lot of time to fail. You know, you guys see it eats up so much of my time just working on YouTube to make the videos that we make, that when I want to branch out and do other stuff, it's really hard to have the time to do it, because I have to do this. So every time I do something else and it fails, it's like, wow, I wasted a lot of time on that. So it makes it really difficult to, like, you know, schedule time out to work on things that I don't know if they're going to be a slam dunk. But if, like, my videos could stop getting demonetized, like, I mean, straight up, I'll just tell you, dude, we lost $1,000 most likely, somewhere around probably $1,000 on Tropic Thunder. You know, we would have made $1,000 more than we did. We made a couple hundred before it got demonetized. And so it's like, that is the kind of money I could be using to pay somebody to, like, work on these kinds of videos that are very simple. So I could try to, you know, kickstart us into the direction of, like, deeper content I want to make. But again, it's just everything about YouTube is designed to be so hostile towards, you know, artists. And that's why they could just, again, everything goes back to this, like, content creator. You are just a, you know, guy whose job it is to push slop and don't care about it, just figure out what's hot and trending right now. I mean, how many channels can you think of or name where they just don't even have really, like, a strong identity at all? It's just a matter, like, their whole shtick is just, I just chase, like, whatever's kind of happening. If it's all about, like, 3 a.m., you know, I tried to call dead YouTuber so-and-so, you know, if that's, like, the meta, then they'll just do that. And then if it switches to anything else, they'll just do that, you know? And it's, I don't blame those people that much for doing that, because it's like, well, what else are you gonna do? Like, of course you do that. You know, who has time to not do that? If I was, like, you know, a Trustafarian, and it was, you know, genuinely this thing of, like, no, I can put all this time into here because, you know, my dad pays my rent, so it doesn't matter, you know, if I'm trying to, like, figure this stuff out because I don't need it to make any money, then I'd be like, okay, well, that's fine. But it's like, yeah, the whole trying to be, like, a working artist thing is the part that makes it so hard. And I don't know, man. Like, these are all things that I've been talking about since before I was a YouTuber a million years ago, and the things are just not getting any better, and that's the part that's so disconcerting. Okay, so that was part of the chair, so we don't need that. But no one else can really compete with YouTube, so we're probably just boned. It's probably just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. YouTube will eventually look like CNN, and that'll just be it. It'll just be like, okay, sucks to suck. And honestly, I think YouTube wants us out of the picture, period. People talk about how, like, oh, well, they should be thinking about, you know, the users and the content creators. And it's like, well, not only do they not care about us, but, like, they really don't even like us all that much. I think if they had it their way, they would much prefer that YouTube was just basically a bunch of like SNL clips and, you know, what do you call it? John Oliver and Craig, you know, Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like that. Like they would just rather YouTube have all of these like official sources on it, so that advertisers feel comfortable and safe and warm and friendly. And I think they feel very nervous. Like, I think us content creators make them feel kind of like a fancy person who is inviting their non-fancy family to go and meet their business friends, and they're like embarrassed of us. They're like, oh no, you know, but what, they don't know how to hold the fork with the right hand, and they're going to embarrass me in front of my, you know, big business friends. So they would just prefer that we weren't around at all, I think, to be honest with you. So they're not worried about like user experience, because like, where are we going to go? What can I do? You know, I'm going to start posting on TikTok. I'm going to post 45 minutes on TikTok. Like, probably not. So, yeah. All right. What are y'all talking about? Just found y'all today. Really into reaction vids here recently. Nice to hear. Daniel Davis, good to have you, brother. Love seeing Arianna's reactions. Just finished American History X. Was yelling when she thought Derek would die. Wanted to warn her? Yeah, for sure. Well, so Ricky scaffolding, you nailed that. So Ricky said the funny thing is, where would the advertising go? The other YouTube? And that's exactly right. I mean, that's what I was saying for years, is like YouTube should not be kowtowing to the advertising companies for you know, like, oh no, please don't leave. Because again, it's like, if I was YouTube, I'd be like, hey, look, asshole, like, I have the, you know, biggest market share for video content on the internet. You need us, so you need to stop being a bitch. And here's what's going on. Like, we're gonna run things like this, you know, per RTOS, because this makes the most sense. But keep in mind that this is not a children's programming place. This is not mainstream television. Things work a little different here, so suck it up. You know, like, again, where else are you gonna go? But they don't have that attitude. They have this like attitude as if, yeah, the advertisers are going to go and just be like, well, fine, we'll spend all of our money on Instagram. Like, oh, okay, you going to Snapchat next? Oh, did my face cam freeze here? Sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah. It's because popcorn in bed reminds Sims of their high school crush. Dairy farm, milk and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I was always scared to be a YouTuber because in my real job world, but after the pandemic, I went for it. Well, that's good to hear, Llama. By the way, I love this channel. I love your insight and breakdown. Always informative. Good to hear, Big Llama. I appreciate that. Yeah, I saw people attacking Mary for cutting curse words, and I realized almost no one realizes behind the scenes stuff that chat teaches us. Well, I mean, to be fair, like, you know, not that I'm like a guru teaching you guys a bunch of really interesting things, but yeah, to an extent, people who hang out here get to hear a lot of this stuff like live, like as it's happening. I mean, the same as if you were watching any like real streamer and he was dealing with like Twitch stuff. Normally when Twitch guys have issues, they, you know, everyone takes their turn kind of going through and talking about what's going on with that. But what's this fucking movie called? Inglorious Bastards. There we go. So, but what happens though is with like reaction channels, most of them are really not that front facing, to be honest, man. Like I don't know any reaction channels that are like super like interactive with the community. So yeah, with you know, people who hang out in here, you guys definitely get to hear a lot more of like how this kind of stuff works. And generally speaking, you can assume that most of what I'm saying translates to the similar issues that the other reaction channels are having. So hopefully you have kind of an idea of like what it is those guys are dealing with. And if you see something weird that you don't really understand and go, why did they do that? Maybe some of the stuff I've talked about, you know, can explain what's going on with those guys. All right, I'm gonna trust myself that I did that right. And then I'm going to... Wait, what's going on? What? I didn't stretch that out that far. Okay, whatever. We'll figure it out. I'll find it. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. I need these. I need candy, bubblegum and taffy. Okay, so Okay, yep, I thought I might do that on accident. Okay, so now where are we coming from on here? That's fine. We can do that. Okay. Yeah, right. They definitely would like to remove the U in YouTube. It's this kind of thing where, you know, it's like when a band is kind of small and they don't have much of an audience, and so they kind of connect with their hometown roots, and they become like a Christian band, and they start getting sold in like you know, Christian bookstores, and they get a little bit of steam, they start kind of picking up, and then like, you know, record labels kind of know about them, and then they decide to make an album where they kind of drop all the Jesus stuff and make a more kind of traditional rock album, and then it gets played on like, you know, your local rock radio station, you know, nothing but rock, and they pivot, and it feels like that's what YouTube's trying to do with us. It's like they're just, you know, they started where they're like, well, hey, look, what if we made this, you know, platform where we took, you know, normal people and we had them, you know, hop in as the creators rather than, you know, it just being Jimmy Kimmel. And that was awesome. It blew up, and then they were like, well, hey, we can make more money if we just turn into traditional media. Like, YouTube is just doing its best to not be YouTube anymore. I need channel stuff. I need Arianna's super. That's what I need. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube policy is going to suck because it can be changed, and you would never know it changed until the last minute when you get a strike. Well, right, and that's the thing that's so freaking annoying about it, is this shouldn't work that way. You know, generally speaking, it's like any level of professional contracts, you know, would not renegotiate, but like if they were going to make a policy change, they'd be like, okay, great. Well, obviously we're not going to punish you for stuff that happened before the policy change, but YouTube is like, no, we don't care. And again, why would they care? Like, what, you know, there's no factors that are forcing them to behave differently. They're just like, no, screw you guys. We'll just do what we want. How about that? Like, we'll do what we want, and you shut the hell up. And if you don't like it, then you go to the other YouTube, and then they laugh, you know, when you walk away all disgruntled, and you're like, oh, I wish I could do something about this, but you can't. And, you know, that's where we're at. No, it's a lot like walking, you know, playing Don't Step on the Rake in a Field of Rakes. What I always say is it's a lot like having like an abusive dad. It's like you come home and you don't know what you did wrong, but you're in trouble, and you're like getting beat, and you're just thinking like, but your dad won't tell you why he's beating you. If you ask, it's always just like, well, you should know. Like, what did you do? You tell me. So then you're just walking around all the time just being like, well, how do I not get my ass beat? And it makes you a paranoid freak, you know? You're just so paranoid all the time because you're like, I don't know why I'm getting my ass beat, but I would like to not anymore, and I don't know how to make it stop because I don't know why it's happening in the first place, so I'm just super paranoid now. And it's like, well, yeah, bud, I get it, you know? Like, you should be. That's a scary, difficult thing to deal with, you know?
Funky. Pit. Christopher. Oh, man. These are some big names to start off with. Okay. Oh. Diane Kruger.
Okay, I don't need to naming everybody off. See, like, stupid shit like this. Like, I'm afraid to use the word Nazi, you know? Like, do I need to blur the word Nazi? Is that going to get me flagged, you know? So, it just sucks. Very frustrating.
Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Once upon a time in Nazi-occupied France. All right. Once upon a time in Nazi occupied France. All right.
Okay, so boom. All right. Pretty much there. Pretty much there. So we can go ahead and pause this guy and get to work. Let's get to it. All right. Yeah, I guess it'll be a lot of blurs, bleeps, and edits like when you play a movie on TV. Exactly right, John Randall. That's what I'm thinking too. It'll basically just be like when you play a movie on TV. Saw a reactor already doing some dubbing for their own cursing to be funny. Yeah, I've done that stuff. Yeah, for sure. Ashley uses like the, dolphin squeals sometimes. Not like the TV, but like in Predator when Arnold says you're one ugly mother, they would dub get to the chopper over the curse word. Oh, okay, got it. It'd be kind of funny would be someone just doing their own version of those. It just would take more time and you wouldn't really want to deal with it. But all those radio edits when they have them say something just different, like, instead of this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the Alps from The Big Lebowski, it's this is what happened, or fuck stranger in the Alps. I just mixed it. The original line in The Big Lebowski is this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. And then in the movie edit or the TV edit, it was this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. It would be funny to do like those kinds of overdubs, but again, it just would take so long. No one would really care, if it was there or not. But it would be funny to do that if you had the time. Hey, will you ever do Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind? It's such a great movie and would love to hear some of their thoughts. What's up, Liminal Space? How you doing, man? Also would love to see some more crazy indie films like Teeth during Halloween season, but can also understand the viewing aspect of it and likes. Yeah, so A. Garcia, that's exactly the problem. It's funny you hopped in now and asked about that movie because we spent about 20 minutes talking about that movie and how much I would love to cover it, but the viewership would be terrible. And the problem with YouTube is that it's all just built around viewership, like how much money you make is directly correlated to how much viewership you have. So, if you want to cover like niche topics, don't, you're going to get punished for it. There's just really no reason to, there's no benefit to. I'm going to spend, 15 some odd hours working on that project, and then it's going to end up making just absolutely no money and, get poor views. And then you're going to be like, well, what did I spend all that time on? Right. And that sucks because I wish it wasn't like that, But I am trying to figure out how to break into doing movies like that. I really want to. I've tried multiple times. I've failed every time. But I'm convinced I'll either figure something out or I'll die. So one of those two things will happen first. Okay, let's get with it. Here we go. Begin. So we're an hour in, finally set up, and let's get rock and rolling.
Ooh, I like that font. Once upon a time.
There is a great cult following to it, at least from seeing other channels do it. Sure, but a cult following is still small as part of the definition of a cult following, so I can't necessarily get by on cult movies, unfortunately.
Time. In Nazi occupied France. All right. $1941. Snap. Oh, snap.
Now it's loud as hell all of a sudden. What are my headphones set to? You're at 50? You're at 50. Weird. Whatever. Now it just seems crazy loud. Is it super loud to you guys, or is that just me?
goodness. Oh goodness. Oh. Oh goodness. This is suspect. Oh snap.
Go back inside and shut the door.
Oh goodness.
Okay, I guess we can cut to the suspect part and just get straight to this. And
This is suspect. There we go. It was sitting too low already. There we go. It was sitting.
Oh, got it. Yeah, Ricky. I mean, and Ricky, it makes sense to not watch stuff that, to not watch reactions to movies you haven't seen. It's less about the reaction half of it. It's more about like trying to break into doing something more than just reactions. There is content that can be a good way to introduce you into a movie, but reactions are just not it. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Hermann, bis ich Sie ruhig weg allein gelassen. Est-ce la propriété de Perrier-Lapadite? Est-ce la propriété de Perrier-Lapadite?
Je suis Perrier-Lapadite.
C'est un plaisir de vous rencontrer, monsieur Lapadite. Je suis le colonel SS Hans Landa. Monsieur Lapadite. Je suis le colonel SS Hans Landa.
Que puis-je faire?
SS. SS.
Que vous m'inviteriez à entrer chez vous afin que nous puissions avoir une discussion.
Certainement. Voici ma famille. Colonel Landa, voici ma famille.
None of them look alike. So that's intriguing. None of them look alike.
Is that Leah Seydoux? Right there? Inglorious Bastards. I mean, she's French. Yeah, that is Leah Seydoux. How interesting. I wonder what that's all about. I wonder if she was like not a big deal back then. How interesting. I mean, blue is the warmest color, obviously, way back in the day, but it didn't really make her a big deal. It's just the reason people know who she is. And then, I mean, after that, she's been in some stuff that's been a little bigger recently, but not when this movie was out. So I'm curious if she just wasn't like... It's weird to have her play like a side character like this, But he also had Mike Myers in the movie for all of 5 minutes too, so I guess is what it is. Okay. Okay, weird. So...
None of them look alike. So that's intriguing.
So let's actually start that cut with looking at the daughters and then have her none of them look alike. Oh shit. There we go. That's what I want.
None of them look alike. So that's intriguing. So that's intriguing.
Colonel SS Hans Landa, mademoiselle, à votre service. Les rumeurs qui circulent dans le village au sujet de votre famille sont tout à fait fondées. Monsieur Lapadite, vous sont toutes plus jolies les unes que les autres.
Merci. Je vous en prie. C'est... Tu là? Je vais chercher devant pour le connaître.
I like the videos y'all did discussing the film afterwards. I remember watching the one for Drive. Yeah, that's what I want to get back into doing, but the problem is I just don't really have a lot of the time to do that. because I'm just doing this all the time. And then because my videos keep getting demonetized, I don't have any money to be able to pay people to replace me on this part so that I can focus on things like that. It's just a huge mess. It's really frustrating. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Non, merci beaucoup, monsieur Lapetite. Pas de plainte. Puisque nous sommes sur une exploitation laitière, je suppose, sans risque de me tromper, que vous avez du lait? Oui. Non, merci beaucoup, monsieur Lapetite. Pas de vin. Puisque nous sommes sur une exploitation laitière, je suppose, sans risque de me tromper, que vous avez du lait?
Oui.
Alors, je préfère du lait.
Très bien.
Tu veux bien fermer la fenêtre?
Okay, never mind. I was hoping there'd be a bit of a reaction there.
I'd be so nervous. Like, what do you want? None of them look alike, so that's intriguing. I would be so nervous. Like, what do you want?
Merci.
Also, he plays a bad guy.
Merci.
Also, he plays a bad guy so well. Also, we all know what happens when you drink milk like that. You're a robot or a serial killer. You're a robot or a serial killer.
Merci.
Also, he plays a bad guy so well. Also, we all know what happens when you drink milk like that. You're a robot or a serial killer.
Hard to watch highlights for a movie on YouTube you've never seen before. I completely agree. That's why I don't recommend it, yeah. On Patreon, I've seen plenty of movies I haven't seen before because they're good, popular movies, just haven't watched it yet. Oh, that's true. That's a good one. Yeah, the classic milk-drinking villain. That's exactly it. Everyone knows.
Monsieur, à votre famille et à vos vaches, je dis bravo.
Merci.
Je vous en prie, venez me rejoindre à votre...
He's making me so nervous. Like,
Please join me at your table.
Je vous en prie, venez me rejoindre à votre...
he's making me so nervous. His, like, air of calm. This is not a good... Like, no SS just comes to hang out. This is not a good... Like, no SS just comes to hang out. This is not a good... No... This is not a good... Like, no SS just comes to hang out.
Vu ce dont nous avons à discuter, il serait préférable de discuter en privé. Vous remarquerez que j'ai laissé mes hommes à l'extérieur. Si cela ne les offense pas, auriez-vous l'obligeance de demander à vos charmantes dames de sortir?
Could it be considered a cameo? It could. I'm just curious, like, why you would use someone that big. But again, maybe just back then they're not that big. But I was gonna say, I'm just curious why you use someone like that just to stand there and not say anything. Like, even Mike Myers had, like, lines. And he's pretty much just a cameo appearance as well. Oh my goodness. I mean, he had BJ Novak, play like a big side character, and then Leah Seydoux just in the movie to be in it. I don't know. It's really weird.
This lighting is awesome, though.
Charlotte.
I agree. This lighting is awesome.
L'obligeance de les offense pas. Si cela ne les offense pas, auriez-vous l'obligeance de demander à vos charmantes dames de sortir?
It's too long. Too long.
This lighting is awesome, though.
Charlotte. Tu veux bien emmener tes sœurs dehors? Le colonel et moi, on a 2-3 mots à se dire.
Monsieur Lapadite.
Je suis au regret de vous informer que j'ai épuisé l'étendue de mon français. Continuez à ne parler si peu convenablement ne ferait que me gêner. Cependant, je crois savoir que vous parlez en anglais tout à fait correct, n'est-ce pas?
Oui.
Ma foi, il se trouve que moi aussi.
Any idea where the milk trope originated, the first offender? Yeah, I mean, I think the milk trope... Oh, well, first off, Ricky, we were kidding, I think. Or you were kidding, I thought. When you said the classic milk-drinking villain, I was joking. I don't think it is a trope. I think this guy, it's because he's about to correlate it with hunting Jews in a minute, is why Quentin has him drinking milk. There's also something kind of like child-oriented about drinking milk. It's like a kind of innocent thing, so it's weird to see a guy who is so dark and not childlike doing something that you normally, associate with a child. Like the adult man offers him wine, like an adult drinks, and he says, no, thank you, I want milk. So it's just another off-putting weird thing. It's an SS officer thing, right? Or not thing, but like he's an SS officer, but he wants to drink milk. He's turning down, alcohol, a hard drink for a soft drink, blah, blah, blah. There's things going on there. But that's just for this movie. As far as like the girls being turned off by it, I think a lot of that is just with the like death of the Got Milk campaign. Like, I grew up with advertisements telling me all day that milk was like the most important thing ever and I need to drink lots of milk. And then, that changed, and these kiddos probably, well, Arianna did, but Mabel didn't grow up with the same kind of advertising, so she probably just didn't consume a lot of milk and was like, oh, milk is something you put into cereal, you don't just drink it. Yeah, Clockwork Orange, that's fair. Totally fair. Closest I felt to watching a movie for the first time is watching others watch a movie for the first time. I very much enjoy the reactions. Yeah, for sure. It's what's up. I'm not sure if Lena Dunham had lines in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but she already has her own show on Girls at HBO at the time. Yeah, John, she's got lines. She's kind of the den mother under Dakota Fanning in that movie. She's the one who comes up and talks to Homie, and she's like, that one girl's name is Pussy, and she's like, we all love our pussy, and he's like, oh, we sure do. That was all Lena Dunham. What's that thing called? Lena Dunham. Once Upon a Time. And that's Homegirl from fucking, what's it called? Euphoria now. And then yeah, that's Lena Dunham right there talking.
Yeah, George still owns it.
Does he still live here?
Yeah.
Does he still live right there?
Yeah.
Is he here now?
I guess so.
So George gave you all permission to be here?
I don't think I really know anyone else. I mean, I know her from this movie and then some other stuff since it, but I don't know these other people. But yeah, that's Lena Dunham. All right.
Puisque nous sommes ici chez vous, je vous demande la permission de passer à l'anglais pour le reste de la conversation.
I mean, it's another trope here. To go with the milk trope thing, it's also like the super most evil person you can think of were Americans, so Nazis, and then having them be overly polite. The polite villain and the impolite hero has been a thing forever. It's like the good guy wears black, the bad guy wears white. thing that's been around so long. You know, Clint Eastwood does it and stuff. You know. Well, there's No Country for Old Men for one. I know there's more. What are you saying, Ricky? About what? Oh, him drinking milk? Yeah, so there's another situation, yeah. Well, in Clockwork Orange, like Wu Xiaoling said, that's like the opening scene. I forget what she's referencing. Leon and Alien, maybe? Who's she, Greif? Or Griffey? Girls had concluded before the film was released, right? Girls had concluded? Oh, I don't know. Margot Robbie had a cameo in that movie too. That's not a cameo. She's like a real character. A cameo is like a guy who walks on screen and then walks off. Oh, you're joking about that? Okay, fair enough. Okay, so...
Well, I'm very familiar with you and your family. I have no way of knowing if you are familiar with who I am. Are you aware of my existence?
Yes.
This is good. Are you aware of the job I've been ordered to carry out in France?
Okay, here we go. We'll start with this.
Yes.
This is good. Are you aware of... Are you aware of the job I've been ordered to carry out in France?
Yes.
Please tell me what you've heard.
I don't think it's a good one.
That the Führer has put you in charge of running up the Jews left in France. While they're hiding or passing for Gentile.
Oh, it goes from too loud to not loud enough. What's going on here? Okay, let's try this again.
Are you aware of the job I've been ordered to carry out in France?
Yes.
Please tell me what you've heard.
Yes.
Are you aware of the job I've been ordered to carry out?
Okay, so I have... All right, this is going to be tough. And this is going to be tough. Okay, so let's think.
I don't think it's a good one. I don't think it's a good one.
See, all that stuff of her like breathing and things like that, that's all going to show up on the audio, and that's going to affect my audio ducking, and that's not good. We don't want that. So let me think if I can make like a floor for her.
Please tell me what you've heard.
I don't think it's a good one.
See, that's
That
fine.
the Führer has put you in charge of running up the Jews left in France. While
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll use a gate. And we will reduce. So like there.
they're hiding or
Please tell me what you've heard.
I don't think it's a good one.
that the Führer has put you in charge of running up the Jews left in France. While they're hiding or passing for Gentile.
So the gate might help with little things like breathing and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes.
Running up the Jews left in France.
The Führer couldn't have said it better himself.
That's all. Domini. Also visit. Doesn't go in. There's a misunderstanding.
Arianna, thanks for referencing Leon for drinking milk and Ash for being made of milk. Arianna just points out that's gross when it's in front of her. For her, it was what's it called? Alien 1 and 2, and then with Maple, it was Leon the Professional. But she's not really referencing a trope. She's just noticing something she thinks is gross when it happens on screen.
The Germans looked to my house 9 months ago for hiding Jews and found nothing.
All right then. I read the reports of this area. But like any enterprise, when under new management, there's always a slight duplication of efforts. Most of it is a complete waste of time.
I'm so sorry now.
Nevertheless,
His air.
have a few. The Führer couldn't have said it better himself. Of it being a complete waste of time.
I'm so stressed right now. His air.
I have a few questions.
There's something about his his energy that he's giving off. It's not awesome.
You can assist.
Awesome. It's not awesome.
Me with answers.
Here.
My department can close a file on your family. No. Before the occupation, there were 4 Jewish families in this area. All dairy farmers like yourself. Les Braque, les Roland, les Lavitte, and Dreyfus. Is that correct?
To my knowledge, it does with the Jewish families and other day farmers. Okay. Nobody. Mr. Davis,
Please, Monsieur Secretary, this is your house. Make yourself comfortable.
Now, according to these papers, all the Jewish families in this area have been accounted for, except
Dreyfus. Someone last year were killed.
which leads me to the conclusion that they've either made good their escape or someone is very successfully hiding them. What have you heard about the Dreyfuses, Monsieur Lapadite?
only rumors.
I love rumors. That's what is misleading. The rumors, true or false, are often revealing. So, Monsieur Lapadite, what rumors have you heard regarding the Dreyfuses?
Again.
Okay, I love this conversation. It's fantastic, but I don't need, to just recap the entire movie.
The father, wife,
Okay. Oh, I don't like this.
there were 5 of them.
Having never met the Dreyfuses, would you confirm for me the exact members of the household and their names?
Yes. Had made their way into Spain. Just wife,
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Bob.
Bob. Sorry.
Okay, let's move on.
How old is Bob?
15.
How long does it take on average to make a YouTube edit for a 2-hour film? Well, Slinger, I only know how long it takes me. It takes me about 10 to 12 hours. But I have heard Melver say it takes him around 5. Do you guys get paid by Patreon? And also, does Patreon allow movie reactions to be posted without any cuts or edits? I do get paid by Patreon. I don't get paid by Patreon. I get paid by patrons, on Patreon, but sure. And then as far as allowing reactions, so that's not legal, period. What they probably have going on is some kind of safe harbor situation where it's just understood that you're not supposed to do that. You probably could do it and get away with it, but I wouldn't recommend it. That's the kind of thing where you could get sued, like actually sued by the company, because what you're doing is just putting another version of the movie unedited just on the internet for people to watch by paying you rather than paying people who own the rights to the movie, and that's not allowed. What is allowed is to edit it heavily like this, so it's kind of more of a highlight reel, and it's not a what you have to do is you have to try to pass a burden as much as you can of this is not a substitute for the original work. If I can convince a judge that someone watching my reaction video is not akin to watching the movie, it's not the same experience, then I should be protected under fair use. But if I'm just posting their movie somewhere, to watch, then yeah, that's not going to be very easy to explain, and you're probably going to get sued and lose a lot of money. What happened to Melverse? Did anything happen to Melverse? I don't know. What do y'all mean? I just talked to him earlier today, actually. Yeah, he's still posting 9 hours ago.
Can assist me with answers.
My department can close a file on your family. Now, before the occupation, there were 4 Jewish families in this area, all dairy farmers like yourself.
I appreciate your efforts and always give a thumbs up to videos I do watch. I appreciate that, Slinger599. I mean, he does post the full edit of the reactions, and you watch your copy of the movie with them. Well, yeah, that's the reaction, though, not the movie. I think he asked, do they allow movie reactions to be posted without any cuts or edits? Obviously, they'll allow just a video of the girls to be, without any cuts or edits. That's not, YouTube would allow that, too. He's asking about the movie, is what he's asking about. I've seen reactors start their channel with full reactions and stop posting the video for legal reasons. Those videos are no longer available. Yeah, because they just don't know. You have to learn this stuff,
And the children. Shoshana?
Shoshana.
else was there? 9, 10.
And Shoshana?
And Shoshana was 18 or 19. No.
And Shoshana?
And Shoshana was 18 or 19.
And Shoshana?
And Shoshana.
I'm not really sure.
Oh no, they're in the home. No. That's what they're gonna pan down to. Oh no, they're in the home. No. That's what they're gonna pan down to, right? Jesus.
Well, I guess that should do it. Well, I guess that should do it. However, before however, before a glass of your delicious milk.
Killers always like the milk.
Another glass of your
Delicious milk.
Another glass of your delicious milk.
Killers always like the milk. Killers always like the milk. Killers always like the milk.
Well, of course.
Yeah. This is a great example. I forgot who was talking about it, but someone had a really great example of there was some video essayist, of course, and he was talking about Alfred Hitchcock, and he was saying how if you have a scene where it's two people talking to each other, then it's going to be very boring. But if you have the audience now know that there's a ticking bomb under the table while they're sitting there talking to each other, then all of a sudden it's not very boring anymore. It's very interesting. There's two major factors at play. There's the inciting, there's like the initial thing that stresses you out in the scene that helps carry the conflict, and then there's a thing that raises the stakes later on. So the first thing is like normal Frenchman, we don't know what he's done wrong. He is afraid of the man who's coming to talk to him. The man who comes to talk to him is an SS officer, and he's very polite. We all kind of know what to expect, that this could go very badly. But it seems to be going pretty well, and it seems to be almost about ready to tie up. Like, the scene seems like it's just about over. But then we pan down and we see that the Jewish family is living, under the man's, basement. So that kicks us up a notch now. Now we have another nice little ticking time bomb, element to the story, and everything is stressful again.
Are you aware of the nickname the people of France have given me? Monsieur Lapéry, are you aware of the nickname the people of France have given me?
I have no interest in such things.
But you're aware of what they call me.
I'm aware.
What are you aware of?
Like, this is gonna be another movie where my jaw is clenched. Like, this is gonna be another movie where my jaw is clenched. So I hold all my tension. Clenched. So I hold all my tension. Clenched. So I hold. So I hold all my. So I hold all my tension.
Precisely.
call you the Jew hunter?
Precisely. I understand your trepidation in repeating it. Heydrich apparently hates the moniker the good people of Prague.
God damn. God damn. Can I get some consistent audio?
Heydrich apparently hates the moniker the good people of Prague have bestowed on him. That's why he would hate the name the hangman's battling to me. It would appear he's done everything in his power to earn it. But I, on the other hand, love my unofficial title. Precisely because I've earned it. Earn it. I, on the other hand, love my unofficial title precisely because I've earned it. The feature that makes me such an... I, on the other hand, love my... I, on the other hand, love my unofficial...
Oh. Okay.
I, on the other hand, love my unofficial... I, on the other hand, love my unofficial... I, on the other hand, love my
Oh, we've had this problem before. Okay, Chad. What is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? All right, let's think. All right, we've had this problem before. That's why the audio seems like it's going so crazy back and forth. Do you film an after movie thoughts discussion for every movie the girls watch on YouTube? I look for them sometimes, cannot find them. I do. Normally the girls talk about the movie afterward, and then there's a link that sends you to them. If you can't find them on the newer ones, it's probably because I moved the link and now it's going to be in the pinned comment section. Trying to start editing yourself. Any tips? Andrew Lee? Not really, man. Just get on YouTube, look up tutorials, and just start doing it, man. It's really not that hard. It's just time consuming. I hope you're not pulling an all-nighter. It's pretty late and this is the first scene practically. I'll just work until I get tired or too bored. Scene so heavy but so well done. I agree. People's lives resting on each word spoken. So well written and well acted. This has got to be a scene you look forward to as a reaction channel. Well, not really. It's not a great reaction scene because all the reactor does is sit there and just like stare intently, you know? It's like better scenes for reactions are like when something big happens, you know? Scary things are very obvious. People generally enjoy watching like obvious reactions. So this is a great scene for watching, but it's not really a great reaction scene.
The feature that makes...
So how do I fix this problem?
The other hand.
All right, how do I fix this problem? This doesn't make any sense. Okay, I have a question. What if I were to do this?
Love my unofficial...
Nope, that didn't work. Okay, so now what happens if I switch you to here and then do this? See?
I, on the other hand...
Okay, so what are you set at? You're at +8 for some reason. Why are you at +8? And let's turn you to 2, and let's take you. And what are you at? You're at 0. So let's find out what the heck happened. That's not where I want to be. Oh, see, something did happen. So you're at 8. That must just have been an accident. Okay, got it. Okay, so, but I'll tell you what though. I think 8 is obviously too high, but let's do like a 2. And then let's bring this guy up to like a 2. What do you think? Maybe a nice little meet in the middle.
Love my unofficial... I, on the other hand... Precisely. I, on the other hand, love my unofficial...
Okay. I think we're good. Cool. That helped. All right. I don't know how that happened, but it is what it is. Okay.
Like this is gonna be another movie where my jaw is clenched.
Good to see you. What's up, Lons? Good to see you too. This movie had quite a few scenes I can appreciate for the acting, suspense, and dialogue. I agree. Yeah, that's fair. As a film fan, it's just a scene I enjoy, but in the frame of reactions, I guess it doesn't leave something to be desired. It doesn't leave anything to be desired. It's just the movie is what it is, you know? So it's more about the scene to scene. It's like the movie is good and the scene is very good, but like what I'm looking for as an editor of a YouTube video is different than what, I'm looking for as a person who just wants to watch a movie. It's the same thing as people who are asking me about, or not asking, but people who complain that like the girls talk too much. It's like, well, they don't talk like that when they watch a movie. People would be like, oh, I could never watch a movie with this girl. She'd be talking the whole time. It's like, well, no, she wouldn't. She's performing. Like, this is a video. Like, we're here on YouTube. We're doing something, you know? If she, like, no one wants to watch a reaction channel where the reactor sits there silently just watching the movie, you know? It's so crazy. But whatever.
Precisely because I've earned it.
I felt was kind of stepped on by trivializing it with the action-y violence and sensationalism, but some people love that. Well, I just think the movie, in my personal opinion, it's not my favorite movie because I do think that, like, there basically is two different movies going on. I would prefer that the parts of the movie with Christoph Waltz and, you know, Shoshana and aspects of, like, what, you know, Diane Kruger and, you know, Michael Fassbender are up to. I wish a lot of that stuff was kind of its own movie and it was treated a bit more seriously like this. And then I wish, like, you know, the Brad Pitt, you know, Bastards movie that they were doing was kind of in a separate movie and that they kind of did their thing. But I understand wanting to mix and match, and I understand that the dichotomy can be fun. But it's just, you know, I'm not a big, like, cutting swastikas into people's foreheads, you know, he's cool kind of guy.
The feature that makes me such an effective hunter of the Jews is...
That means the immersion level is so high for them. I mean, it does, but again, it's like we're performers, you know, like you're putting on a video for people to watch to be entertained. So if they watch the video and they get bored because the reactor's not reacting, they'll click off the video, and I can't have that. So obviously you want to try to, you know, keep the pace moving. Dan, people say that? Yes, they do. I'm glad I don't see every comment. I dig the formula you have as a channel. I appreciate that, Detroit. All right.
As opposed to most German soldiers, I can think like a Jew.
Okay, here we go.
The feature that makes me such an effective hunter of the Jews is...
So I can't have this.
I, on the other hand, love my unofficial title, precisely because I've earned it. The feature that makes me such an effective hunter of the Jews is,
as opposed to most German soldiers, I can think like a Jew.
The feature that makes me such an effective hunter of the Jews is... The feature that makes me effective hunter of the Jews is...
As opposed to most German soldiers, I can think like a Jew.
Okay, so we'll do this, this. Oh, fascinating. Fascinating. Okay, so now what happened here? And let's see what I do. I do something. So da 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 da. Okay, so that's that, and then this.
The feature that makes me such an effective hunter of the Jews is...
As opposed to most German soldiers, I can think like a Jew.
Where they can only think like a German. More precisely, a German soldier.
Maybe this was Django for a Jewish audience. Well, Django certainly wasn't Django for the black audience, as far as I'm concerned anyway. It's just a romp. Da, da, da. Good luck with the rest of the edit. I gotta get some sleep. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, good to have you, Slinger. You have a good night, all right?
Now, if one were to determine what attribute the German people share with a beast, it would be the cunning and the predatory instinct of a hawk.
A hawk, yeah, of course.
But if one were to determine what attributes the Jews share with the beast, it would be that of the rat. But
So let's get rid of the butt.
if one were to determine what attributes the Jews share with the beast, it would be that of the rat.
Oh my.
The Führer and its propaganda have said pretty much the same thing.
I know this is terrible, but I just...
Our conclusions differ.
You know, there's always going to be long conversation in Tarantino flick.
Comparison and insult.
I just want him to do whatever dirty thing he's about to do fast.
Okay.
I know this is terrible, but I just...
Okay, let's think. Here we go.
Oh my.
The rat.
Oh my.
And I mean, she's nailing the sentiment. That's what he wants. He wants you to finally like beg for it to be over.
It would be that of the rat.
Oh my.
The Führer and propaganda have said pretty much the same thing.
I know this...
Same thing.
I know this is terrible, but I just...
Our conclusions differ.
You know, there's always going to be long conversation. I just want... I know this is terrible, but I just...
Propaganda have said pretty much.
I know this is terrible. I know this is terrible, but I just...
Our conclusions.
I know this is terrible, but I just...
Our conclusions.
I just want him to do whatever dirty thing... I just want him to do whatever dirty thing he's about to do fast.
The world a rat lives in.
Mm-mm.
The hostile.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Hostile world.
Mm-mm.
The hostile world, indeed. If a rat were to scamper through your front door right now, would you greet it with hostility? Would you greet it with hostility?
I suppose I would.
Has a rat ever done anything to you to create this animosity you feel toward him?
Rats make it easy. Divide people.
Rats were
Hey, Cash Rose, I appreciate it. Thanks for chiming in, man. I appreciate you.
Divide people.
Rats were the cause of the bubonic plague
Mm-hmm.
some time ago. I propose to you any disease a rat plague could spread, a squirrel could equally carry. Would you agree? Yeah, I assume you don't share the same animosity with squirrels that you do with rats, do you? If they were friends, are they not?
Oh, it's the gorgeous shot, though.
Don't they? And except
Oh,
for
it's the
pale
gorgeous
lady
shot,
and the
though.
look-alike, don't they?
It's an interesting thought, Nicola.
However interesting as the thought may be, it makes one bit of difference to how you feel. If a rat were to walk in here right now as I'm talking, would you greet it in some delicious milk?
Probably not.
I didn't think so. You don't like them? You don't really know why you don't like them. All you know is you find them repulsive. Consequently, a German soldier conducts a search of a house suspected of hiding Jews. Where does the hawk look? He looks in the barn, he looks in the attic, he looks in the cellar, he looks everywhere he would hide. But there's so many places in the occur to hawk to hide. However, the reason the film has brought me off my arms and Oscar and placed me in French tour country today is because it does occur to me. Because I'm aware of a tremendous human beings are capable of once they find dignity. May I smoke my body sweat?
Please don't make yourself at home.
Oh, what a pipe.
Serious, right?
This is a very serious scene, but that pipe.
Please go and make yourself at home. Please go and make yourself at home.
Seen as Pete Christoph Waltz. I agree. It is. I mean, honestly, if this was my I would kill to have this scene on my fucking demo reel if I was an actor. Incredible scene. Oh man. Honestly, the Frenchman guy does a great job too. I mean, he definitely has a great energy of seeming like he's strong, determined, but also very concerned and scared, and trying not to break under the pressure. He doesn't play it like a slimy, oh no, I'm so afraid, sir, please don't hurt me kind of guy. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a feat of writing.
yourself at home.
Oh, what a pipe. Oh, what a pipe. I'm sorry. This is a very serious scene, but that pipe just like... Where was that? Where are you... Where are you storing that, my guy? It's already... That, my guy. It's already packed and stuff, too. Like...
Yeah, more like a horn than a pipe. Yeah, he definitely peaked with this movie. Unfortunately, he's made some questionable role choices ever since. Has he really? What's he been in that's been questionable? Ever seen those alpine horns? Those are like 5 feet long things. Like what ones you're supposed to like blow into? Alpine horn. Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like a didgeridoo, but shaped like a horn. And I do agree, it does kind of look like one of those for sure. Reduced down to the size of a pipe. Yeah. Want to see if someone tried smoking out of one. You know you can hide your weed in there. Yeah, perfect mix of charming and menacing, for sure. Yeah, 100%. The audience doesn't hate him as he lets you know what he's doing to save his daughters, and that Lando will find them regardless. Yeah, exactly right. No, that's true. I agree. I totally agree. It's like you feel bad for him. You feel yourself being kind of in a similar situation. It's like, is it better that all of us die or just that half of us die? You know? And if it's just me, that's one thing. If it's my, daughters and stuff like that, like, how does morality fit into this kind of stuff? If anything, it's like, don't hate me, hate the people who put me in this position.
My job dictates
Hilarious.
that I must have my men enter your home.
Okay, here we go.
My job dictates
Thank God they switched sides.
that I must have my men enter your home.
Please stop whispering.
And conduct a thorough search before I can officially cross your family's name off my list. And if there are any irregularities to be found, rest assured. And if there are any irregularities to be found, rest assured there will be. That is unless you have something to tell me that makes the conducting of a search unnecessary. I might add also that any information that makes the performance of my duty
That is a big hit. This is true.
easier will not be met with punishment. Actually, quite the contrary. It will be met with reward. And that reward will be your family.
This guy does look a little familiar, though. Do I know this guy? What's going on here? Inglorious Bastards. Who played the Frenchman? His name is Denis Ménochet. He's a French actor. Ménochet is known to international audiences for his role as Perrier La Petite from this movie. Okay, well then, fair enough. Okay, well, I tried. Word. He does look familiar, though.
Family will cease to be harassed in any way by the German military during the rest of our occupation of your country.
Jean Reno. It looks like a couple of guys that who it kind of looks like, but obviously younger. Let me pull this guy up. Let's see. Which is a little funny because he looks like Vincent Regan a little bit. Just a wee bit. Yeah. He's got kind of a oh yeah, he was in 300 and Troy. I forgot he was in both those movies. Let's find him from Troy. Yeah, there we go. As a Eudorus or whatever. Yeah, I kind of see it. They both have a... The biggest difference is the eyes. This guy's got like really, really like bright baby blue eyes kind of happening. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see it. Okay, I'm use the restroom. I'll be right back. Yeah, he does have a bit of a Daniel Craig thing going on. I agree with the eyes for sure. Okay, you know what? I want to look up real fast. Give me a second. I need to figure this out. Okay, let's see.
If you're tired of having to balance your game sound or your music sound or some other background sound in your live stream across your voice and having to figure out which one's going to override the other and not getting your levels right, doing a whole recording and it just doesn't turn out very well at all, this is the video for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps to set up audio ducking or sidechain compression in OBS Studio, which allows you to basically tell your alternative audio sources to lower whenever you start talking. And it's actually really cool. It was added in the OBS 21 update. I gave a super rough overview of it in that video, but in this one, I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up right after this. Useful tech education and gaming nostalgia that won't put you to sleep.
Wu Xiaoling, how are you communicating with the other reactor?
Subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next guide. This video, of course, assumes that you have OBS Studio installed and you understand the general basics of how to use it. If you don't, I have a full masterclass linked in the video description down below where I walk through pretty much everything you need to know about OBS Studio. So we're going to skip past the obvious basics and jump right in here. So I have already added some audio sources. If we go to my audio settings here, I have added my microphone input and then 2 audio outputs. And one of them, I will run some music from VLC Player here in a moment. But you can see my audio levels right now. I just have a little bit turned down on all of them for my mic. Jump right in here. So I have already added some audio sources. If we go to my audio settings here, I have added my microphone input and then 2 audio outputs. And one of them, I will run some music from VLC Player here in a moment. But you can see my audio levels right now. I just have a little bit turned down on all of them for my microphone, for my alternative ones. So if I go ahead and hit play on the music, I am not hearing it because I have it routed through a different input, but I have it running here through desktop audio track. And if these are running to a live production, that loud music is probably making it very impossible to hear what I'm saying. Here, we're going to flip over to it and do a quick test. That sucks. But we can set up with a quick plugin change. We can set this up to automatically lower for our needs. So go ahead and hit the gear icon next to the track that you want to lower, the one that you wish to automatically reduce whenever you're talking. So not your microphone.
Okay, so there's a problem with that. I basically, let's think. So this is interesting. So right now you guys are hearing just everything. Oh, live stream, cool. YouTube put a box under the notification for this video that said, is the above video a good recommendation for you? That's been around for a long time. Derek Moore, it's been around. They just don't put it on every video you watch because obviously that would get extremely annoying. So they just like randomly do it to however many millions of users a day to kind of get a test idea of how you feel about videos. They'll ask a couple things. They'll ask if this is right for you because they want to get feedback on if the algorithm is showing people videos that they want to see. They'll also ask, like, what was it you liked about this? Like, rate this video. You rate it high. Well, what did you like about this video? Was it inspirational? Was it funny? Was it entertaining? Was it good? But whatever thing. There's like, they're doing a million things to try to figure out how to keep people on the website longer so they can sell more ads. Wuxiaoling, what was the context of the live stream? Was it just like a, hey guys, thanks for, 100,000 subs kind of live stream, or what was going on? And then in the meantime, I need to figure some stuff out. So for instance, you guys are getting audio from just my whole computer at once. So what I'm curious about is if I could change that. For instance, I'm pretty sure I can. So let's think. What if I took this advanced audio properties, tracks, monitor off, filter properties, regular layout. All right, here we go. So desktop audio, it's set to default, but I could set it to, nope, kind of stuck. Okay, interesting. In essence, what I think I could do is I could set two different things up for you to hear. One coming from my computer and then one coming from the internet, like from Google. And then what I could do is have one make the other one duck. And that would be the idea. That would be very interesting because that would work for you and me, and that would just be a really good workflow situation for me to not have to keep pausing. I would like to pull that off. So let's think. Audio, and then what do I have? I've got desktop audio 2, device not connected or not available. Okay, whatever. Isn't audio 2 what I'm using? No, I'm not. Okay, so cool. So let's set audio 2. So audio 2 should be. So I gotta teach that where to send it. Interesting. Okay, well, you know what? I have an idea on how to mess with this. So this is something I'll come back to. I'll do this off stream, and when I come back next time, hopefully we'll have a slightly better setup for that. And that is the game plan anyway. That's the hope. Okay, so hyped for this? Yeah, I am too. Sort of an aftermath of a premiere. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you had to click on a smiley face and check the box for entertaining in order. Just make sure YouTube doesn't decide to stop notifications for me. Yeah, exactly right. That kind of thing will happen for sure. Yep. Yeah, getting feedback to the movie reaction. You didn't like Inglorious Bastards? Yeah, I like it enough. I would have liked it more if the movie was more like this and less like what it is with the bastards on screen.
What?
That is unless you have something to tell me that makes the conducting of a search unnecessary. I might add all my duties here will not be met with punishment. Actually, quite the contrary. It will be met with reward. And that reward will be your family will cease to be harassed in any way by the German military during the rest of our occupation of your country.
Okay, so
what will be your... That is unless you have something.
Okay. I see streamers change various audio levels of everything from OBS Studio based on commentators' feedback during their live stream. I see streamers change various audio levels of everything from OBS based on commentators' feedback from music to their mic. That has more to do with people asking about just volume levels. That's it. I'm going to set up an automated system. It's called ducking, which is like when one thing starts making noise, the other thing gets quiet. Now, the way they're going to try to teach me is so that when I start talking, it's going to make the computer volume quiet, but that's not really what I want. What I want is when I want to be able to play like quiet background music because I have ADD and it helps me if it's never like this level of quiet. This kind of quiet is very distracting to me. But I want to set up a different, in essence, I want to set up where the computer is tracking where the noise is coming from either just my desktop or from Google or from like Chrome. And then when it hears Chrome, that will be like our default music. But then when it hears the movie audio playing, it'll duck down the movie or the music that's playing, so we can hear this and not hear the music. But then when I stop working, boom, the music comes back. So then it just feels nice and even, and I don't have to keep pausing and unpausing the music every time, which is eating up little small pieces of space every so often. All these little efficiency things, like they add up, to handling hours of content production.
To tell me that makes the conducting of a search unnecessary.
This stream is already as long as the movie, and I'm still on the first scene. So I gotta say, you picked the best movies for reactions. Thank you, Nick. I try really hard on that. Like, no joke, I try very hard on that. Like, I love y'all's videos so much because it captures the magic of showing someone the movie you love for the first time. I really appreciate that, man. Awesome. Yeah, I try, dude. I'm a sucker for movies divided into chapters. Yeah, I mean, sure. I like it too. I don't hate that. Yeah.
Sorry. Your family will cease to be harassed in any way by the German military during the rest of our occupation of your country.
Oh, what a dilemma. Oh, look how dead his eyes are.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so whatever new system I'm using, I came up with a new workflow system for how to set my scenes up, and oh my gosh, I haven't appreciated it yet. Like I should have. Oh yeah, but it is. Oh my god, it's so much less intense on the computer. So, snaps for me. I figured it out.
I gotta stop.
You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
I'm literally like...
Yes.
We'll see what I get away with.
He's still gonna kill everybody, I feel like.
You're sheltering them underneath your floorboards, aren't you?
Yes.
You're sheltering them underneath your floorboards, aren't you?
Yes.
Point out to me the areas where they're hiding.
What's up, Cosmo? It's your favorite opening scene of a movie ever? To be honest with you, probably my favorite too. It's very good. Very, very good. Yeah. I'm reading Lord of the Rings again. Am I the only one who hates Tom Bombadil? That character makes no sense and ruins the whole story. All right, so you're not the only person who hates Tom Bombadil, but there's some things going on with him. So, like, he's just one of those situations where he is a world-building, device, and Tolkien just wasn't in a hurry. The other thing to keep in mind with Tolkien is that, like, I mean, it's string forbidden to say anything negative about Tolkien. And this isn't necessarily negative, it's just reality, is that he was not a novelist, he was a linguist, So he didn't necessarily... hyper study exactly how to make a ripping yarn that you want to like blow through, right? He just happened to be a very, very smart guy who came up with a really cool, he basically invented modern high fantasy, so good on him, right? But there's going to be things like that where it feels like these kind of structure issues where Tom Bombadil is too long, doesn't matter, for the rest of the story. And at the end of the story, you have this issue where after the falling action has happened and we've saved the day and the mountain is destroyed and the ring is destroyed and we're all good, there's this whole tag along like B-plot sub-story that actually ends the story back at the Shire. And that is just, all of that is like story structure problems. Again, if you're a sycophant, you can be like, no, Tolkien's never done anything that was kind of weird. It's just you, but I disagree. So, but just know that like you're not the only one. There's a lot of people who think the Tom Bombadil stuff is just story-wise not important. I would think of some of those, elements of these stories as kind of, what do you call it? It's like just Cimmerillion light stuff. It's just world building. And I don't know. It's interesting. it's Lord of the Rings is so hard because like I haven't experienced Lord of the Rings as a consumer, in so long. It's been something that like I've just known about and have thought about and stuff for so long. It's hard for me to look at it from like the entertainment side anymore. It's more of like this kind of monster that I tackle and think about all the different like sub elements. So I'm so in the weeds with it, and that's before you get into like the video games and stuff, and like the Shadow of Mordor games add so much to the lore as well. It's a huge world. Speaking of Daniel Craig, who do you think should be the next Bond? I just don't care, man. I haven't watched a Bond movie since Casino Royale, and before that, I hadn't really seen one since like well, obviously Pierce Brosnan, but like, I mean, that Pierce Brosnan one was a long time ago, and I wasn't watching them like in between. I just don't care about James Bond. I just think he's really corny. I don't think there's anything more we need from like that type of action hero. I would much rather us move into like a Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy kind of era, but again, we just can't do that because the average person doesn't want to watch that. Was thinking why Lord of the Rings is so much more impactful compared to Narnia, like fantasy versus fairy tale, why they both are fantasy. I think part of it is Lord of the Rings I just think is more interesting than Narnia. Narnia has a much more kind of, they're both a little basic. They've got the good versus evil thing going on. But Narnia, well, let me back it up. Here's what I'll say. Narnia is propaganda. That's the problem. I think the reason people don't love, like I made a video a long time ago, back when we had like 1,000 subs. I made a video talking about propaganda in Hollywood, not Hollywood, but media. And the problem is that if you write something or you make a piece of art, but the point was what you really like, man, I'm trying to think of how to word this in such a way where there's not a bunch of holes in it. So for instance, if I want to say something, if there's some subject that's very important to me and I make a piece of art to try to spread awareness, but the art was just a vessel for the message, it was just a tool I'm using to try to get the message across, then the art normally suffers, and people can feel that the art was kind of put together so that you could like push your message and force your message. Sometimes characters will do things because that's what the message needs to be, or behaviors and plot elements will happen a certain way because that's just what your message needs to happen, versus feeling like you created something real and it kind of goes where it was going to go. And I think that just Lord of the Rings comes across much less like Christian propaganda than Chronicles of Narnia does. And I just don't think people really like propaganda. I think most propaganda has never lasted as like art. There's no one who's like just grabbing a bunch of art from Mao's China or whatever and being like, oh yeah, it's so beautiful, I love it. It's like, no, because it's very industrial. It just feels like it's kind of made like purpose made. And that's why no one liked Ghostbusters either. Ghostbusters 2016. Oh man. Chad, firstly, thanks for pronouncing my name correctly. No problem. Secondly, you are magic behind the incredible channel, so I'm so grateful for Anna's success. Thirdly, Tom Bombadil is the shit. Excellent, Nick. All right, good to hear. Well, the reason I can pronounce your name correctly, which I assumed I said Ito earlier, is because Ito is an awesome Japanese artist.
Point out to me the areas where they're hiding.
Also, my friend Kev just came in the front door unannounced, currently 150, because he forgot his phone charger here early. He says, hey, and was impressed with your channel when I showed him. All right, awesome. Tell your friend Kev that I said hello. And that's kind of weird to show up unannounced at 1:50 in the morning. But you know what? It seems like you guys are tight, and I'm glad y'all have a relationship like that. Been watching reactions lately and wanted to stop in and say the editing is great. Thanks for putting in the time to keep it up. Hey, thanks, Dimrock Sosabi. I appreciate you, man. I very much do. I'm hoping to bring some cooler shit. Like, I'm really hoping to do some, we're going to start working on like some cooler videos here soon. I just got to find, I don't know, man. I got to figure something out. I'm going to figure it out. We're going to get it done. I have a couple of plans. The first thing we're changing is we're going to start adding shows. The second thing we're changing is we're going to go back to doing those more kind of like deep dive discussion-y videos after the movies. I just have like a couple of problems, man. I have like one of my problems is, so here's what I want to do. Let me show you what I want to do. I have, I made a video a while ago. Some of you in chat may recognize it. And then I did like some re-edits. Some of you in chat may have been around for the re-edits. So, where is this video? Hello? It's, where did I put you? I put it somewhere, I swear. Aliens, Fight Club, Home Alone. Okay, here we go. Found it. Alright, so I had a video like this where what we were doing is I was cutting from the reactions of the girls, and then I was interrupting with my, what do you call it? It was like a breakdown video on this movie, and I was basically interrupting, kicking back and forth to talk about this movie. But the problem is that the stuff I was saying was all scripted, and so the girls weren't involved. What I want to do this time is I want to try to have it where the girls watch their movie, and then they come and hang out with me, and then we discuss the movie afterward, in post. And then I try to edit it in a similar kind of way where we get this, hyper-produced kind of thing going on. The problem with that is that, like, when I do the scripted version, there's a lot of very specific points I'm trying to hit. That's not going to be extremely easy to do in a conversational manner, but I'm going to try my damnedest. I'm really going to try. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be tough, though, so whatever. It also makes me wonder if it'd be worthwhile if I was just in the reactions again, too. I don't know. That's interesting. I haven't done that in a long time. The only problem with me being in the reactions is, again, I've seen all these fucking movies. That's really the biggest issue. Yeah, that's the tough part. If we were reacting to movies I haven't seen, then we could talk. But it's really tough because it's just I've seen these movies, I don't know. That's so I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure it out. It's really hard, but I'm trying my damnedest to figure it out. Any chance of another duo reaction as it was done by The Thing? If so, would the sequel be considered? So Mellow, we've done a couple. So Arianna and Maple have gotten together 3 times. They did The Thing, they did A Quiet Place 2, and they did Troll 2. I am going to start introducing shows. The girls are going to record some stuff this Saturday. And they're going to be doing the shows together. So we probably won't do a lot of movies together, but the shows they'll be doing together. On propaganda as art, I think it's interesting when looking at everything from Tom Gunn's Maverick to Russian communist art, and even the art that inspired Western expansion. The Odyssey can even be one. I mean, I don't disagree that there's like a historical interesting thing in looking at propaganda art, but unless you're like a super hyper historian, you're probably not collecting it because, again, people just want art that was made from a place of love and passion in the art, and not necessarily like, well, I mean, like, I have a good example. This is like a very mild spoiler. It's not really a spoiler at all, but The Boys made fun of this idea recently, and it's like there's a character who is a superhero who there's a character she's a superhero, and she has decided that she feels really bad about chimpanzees being in cages and zoos, and so she wants to get the message out there, so she makes a song about it. And the whole joke is that, like, it's a ridiculous song singing about how, chimps can't cry, so we have to cry for them. And it's not, a good piece of art because it's just propaganda. It's somebody just has a message that they're trying to, shill, and they've made this video so they could get their idea across, more so than they made this song because it's just a really great song. And I think that's, it's a joke, obviously, but it's hitting the point of why that stuff comes across as cringe. it's a big part of why, you know, Ghostbusters 2016 wasn't really that great, is because it wasn't made because someone was like, I just love Ghostbusters, I just want to make the best Ghostbusters. It was because I want to make Lady Ghostbusters, and I have a lot of things to say about that. And so then you have this movie that just doesn't really work out, you know?
And then like
Kev's a great friend despite the weird time circumstance. He says, hey, back. All right, cool. Also, I think having the solo reactions are great, but you always bring the best insights. Think the reviews are great. Medium for that, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, that's why I hate 98% of short films. Interesting point, John. What do you have to say about that? I haven't thought about short films as being especially propagandistic.
And then like his whole family's not even gonna be spared, I bet.
Okay, so...
And then like...
So we'll do this.
And then like his whole family's not even gonna be spared, I bet. And then like his whole family's not even gonna be spared, I bet.
Okay, so... Oh, man. Awkward. Just like the whispering.
And then like his whole family's not even gonna be spared, I bet.
Okay, so I'm having a little bit of issues with the audio here, and that's because, I don't know if you can hear that, it's really subtle, but it's because of the gate. The gate is maybe a teensy bit too high. So let's go ahead and... Oh yeah, that gate should be much, much lower. Yeah. There we go. Okay, that was on me. I don't know why the gate was so high in the first place. I must have been adjusting the wrong bit.
And then like his whole family's not even gonna be spared, I bet.
Much better. Much better. Okay, there we go.
My head hurts. My head hurts.
Since I'm running this demonetized, well, listen, they don't speak English.
$100p on your response to the propaganda comment. Yeah, perhaps that's why I love drawing, but hate it when it turns into a job, propaganda art. I mean, kind of. Kind of. Like, propaganda isn't necessarily anything you did for, like, money. It's things you do to, you know, express an idea, and the whole point of the art, you know, is to convince other people. It's like you're making an argument through your art. Now, that's not to say that all propaganda or all art with a message is bad. Like, not at all, because you can go watch Parasite, you know, and see that that can be done well. But the person didn't. So what I'm talking about is when people make art that has a message, but the art wasn't the focus. It's a similar thing too. There was a Christian band back in the day. Well, I don't even know if I want to call them that, but there was a band. They're called Under Oath. They're still around, but they were really popular in, like, when I was in high school. And they were popular in Christian circles because the band was Christian, but the lead singer, Spencer, didn't love calling the band a Christian band. And he said part of why he didn't love that was because he was at a concert, and it was like a tour, and he was being interviewed with another guy from a different Christian band, and they were asked why they make music. And he said that the other guy told the interviewer that the reason he makes music is because he just loves God, and he wants to get the message out there to everybody about God. And so he, thinks music is a great vessel to do that with. And Spencer was like, that's not why I make music. I make music because I love music. Like, music kicks ass. So I think that that's a good example. That differential between those two guys is a good example of what I'm talking about. It's like, you can make Parasite and have a message about, capitalism, but you have to still, like, care and want to make a movie, whereas it feels like people who make things like most of Marvel or, Ghostbusters 2016, it wasn't, hey guys, what if we got together and made a fantastic film? It's more like, hey guys, here, I got some stuff on my chest I want to say, let's throw together a movie to make this thing happen. And so that's kind of the differential. Yeah, art is not as lofty as one thinks. The majority of art was religious and commissioned by the church. Jesus, this thing got loud. Okay. Art's not as lofty as one thinks. The majority of art was religious and commissioned by the church, royalty, and rich patrons. Art has always been propaganda. Thinking in reverse is really naive. Well, I mean, I don't like that old art either. So it's like, it's like, I mean, my favorite movie is There Will Be Blood. There Will Be Blood is a movie. It's based off of, or maybe my new favorite movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's like, it's not really trying to sell you anything. Like Ghostbusters 2016 is trying to sell you something. Frozen is trying to sell you something. So I stand by that. Like propagandistic art is just less interesting. You know, it's like if you made the art because you really were just passionate about the movie, you know, I couldn't tell you what like There Will Be Blood is trying to sell you, you know, other than just a great fucking story, great film. It's based on a book called Oil. Maybe that book, you know, was written with some kind of like heavy, you know, message implied. And there, you can have themes and stuff you care about. But again, it's like I believe that those guys made those movies because they're just great movies. They just wanted to make a really great movie, right? Most short films I see have a message that they started with, and they made a movie trying to make you feel something about the subject in such a mushy way. Okay, fair enough. I guess most of the short films I watch are horror, so I'm just in a different angle than you. Wasn't a movie. It didn't have great acting or writing or filmmaking, but it was just an example. If you're a good person, you'll like this. I mean, right, and that happens. But I mean, long form movies do that too. So yeah, for sure. Have you heard of the argument the Odyssey was a good piece of propaganda for Greek exploration and colonization of the Mediterranean? It gets complicated when trying to address whether the motivation was state organized pushed for or internally motivated and supported due to the alignment of ideals and philosophies. The Odyssey is a piece of propaganda for Greek exploration. It seems like the opposite. It's the worst boat trip anyone's ever taken. It's like I'm trying to get home from this war that, if I recall, took 10 years, and it takes him like another 10 years to get home or whatever. His whole crew dies except like just him. I don't see why that would make me want to be like, yeah, let's go out and explore. I'd be like, no, there's monsters out there. There's like hella monsters out there.
You assumed correct.
Since I haven't heard any disturbance, I assume while they're listening, they don't speak English.
Okay. So. Do this. Do that. Let's see. She's here. And put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Okay, cool.
Since I haven't heard any disturbance, I assume while they're listening, they don't speak English.
You assumed correct. That's why you'd switch to it. So they're gonna. Oh. That's why you'd switch to it. So they're gonna. Oh.
Switch back to French now, and I want you to follow my masquerade set clear. I'm going to switch back to French now, and I want you to follow my masquerade set clear.
Oh.
This.
Oh.
This.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Monsieur l'a pas dit.
Je vous remercie.
I watched a lot of Oscar-nominated short films. Yeah, not me. Honestly, I don't even pay attention to the Oscars. They're so fucking bad. I only ever see like a handful of like who won, who got nominated after it's over, but I don't pay attention running up. I think the Oscars is worthless, absolutely worthless. It's just a bunch of virtue signaling. The Star Wars movies were trying to sell you something, but mostly toys and bed sheets. Lucas is all about business of Star Wars. I mean, the point being, I mean, I agree, but I don't think they're very good either. So I think that proves the point. But on top of that too, it's like the selling something, I'm talking about ideas, not toys, you know? But same thing. I mean, that's what I mean. That's a good example. You know, the Transformers TV show, G.I. Joe TV show in the 80s, like they weren't good because they didn't care about the art. They were just trying to sell toys. So that's what I mean. If you don't care about the art, but you're just trying to convince people to like recycle, and you make a movie that's built around people needing to recycle, but you're like, yeah, the movie schmovie, it's really about the message. It's going to be a shitty movie, So if you're like movie schmovie, I just want to sell Ewok toys, then it's going to be a shitty movie, and it was a shitty movie. So same thing, Why is the Fermi paradox even a thing? Considering how fast the universe is, why would anyone expect to see signs of life in their cosmic background? It's a funny question you're asking. Don't know where it came from, but I will answer it. It is because how does it work? It's like if a civilization was able to move at, I forget what percentage it was, but it was at some percentage of the speed of light, which theoretically should be possible, then it would only take them about 600,000 years or something like that to map out, if they had exponential growth, to map out basically the entire observable universe as we know it. Then what happens is it's not just one. Theoretically, it would be many, 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 many of them. And that would all compound so much. I mean, the universe, the Earth is like, what, 2-something billion years old or whatever. So 600,000 years is really not that long. Or maybe 600 million? I think it was 1,000. I don't remember. It was some number of, there's numbers out there. The idea is that there should be so many alien species, and they should be so many of them that are spacefaring, that they should be fucking everywhere. Like at minimum, there should be, telescopes should have seen lots and lots of evidence of spaceships that were, falling apart, and there's gases left around, like, pollution, greenhouse gases, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, right? And we haven't seen any of it. So the fact that we haven't seen any of it means, which takes you from the Fermi paradox to the next level, which is the great filter. And the concern, or not the concern, but the theory with the great filter is that something is happening that makes it where either there is some kind of filter that filters out all life. So, especially intelligent life. So either the filter is in front of us or it's behind us. If it's behind us, it means that life is just extremely difficult to happen. And there's a possibility that we are much more rare than we think we are, and possibly the only ones like right now in the observable universe. Then the next part is, if that's not true, then the filter must be in front of us, and that life is, obviously this is all relative, but relatively simple to get started. But after you develop, enough of it, and then you get intelligent enough, something else happens afterward that kills you, and this has already killed everybody else, and it's going to kill us eventually. One of the theories is that the great filter is in front of us, and that's something like global warming, or climate change, that basically people get smart, and then they start burning stuff, and then they kill themselves. So just no one's ever made it past that part, basically. So that's the idea with the Fermi paradox, and then the great filter theory that's trying to give some answers to the great paradox. The idea is based on the idea of wonders and wild adventures just past the edges of the Greeks' home-known world. The argument states that the stories like that of the Odyssey inspired Greek colonization. Well, that's hilarious, because if someone was telling me stories about, like, well, we went out on a boat trip and one of the gods stole the east wind, so I couldn't get wind to go home. And then, like, we ran into a hydra and he ate, like, half of my crew. And then we landed on, like, an island of the Lotus Eaters, and we stayed there for, like, years, not realizing we had lost time. And then, like, I almost got swallowed by a maw in, like, the bottom of the ocean. And then I made it on some fucking farm or something by myself, destitute, and almost got murdered by a god. Like, none of that sounds like fun. Oh, by the way, like, the whole time I've been gone, dudes are out there trying to bang my wife, so I have to, like, hurry home so I can go and try to save my, estate from some guy, saying that I've died, and he just gets to, take over of my estate. None of that makes me, like, want to. I'd be like, no, I'm staying home. That shit sucks. Like, what's that all about? So, I mean, good for them. I'm glad it got people excited. But to me, it's like, it's nothing but horror stories. It feels like the kind of stuff that you would tell, like, children to make them stay home. It's like, if you go out there, there's nothing but horrors out there. The night is dark and full of terrors is what it sounds like to me. Oh, yeah, and sirens. Yeah, I lost half my crew to sirens. Exactly right. Overall, the story, for the distractions and disjointed comments, all in all, just captivated by the conversation. Yeah, it's nice. More likely that alien civs are snuffed before they ever get off their planet, let alone solar system. Yeah, that's part of the theory. Last point on the Odyssey. It was like our modern sci-fi inspiring space exploration despite the otherworldly and cosmic horrors portrayed. Well, but the problem is, though, is we also have like Star Trek that was very positive about it. The Odyssey is like wildly negative. His whole crew dies, you know? It's like he's the only one. There was like 50 men or something like that. And he like can't get home for like 50 years. That's not what Star Trek is about. Star Trek is about this like utopian future and it's all wonderful and lovely and stuff like that, you know? Not to mention, like in real life, we don't believe in monsters. So when we started the space exploration, we didn't think we're going to go run into, you know, monsters and aliens and demons and stuff like that. We figured we're just going to the moon. Or perhaps the Great Filter is the whole spacefaring thing that they speculate species will get to. Maybe there's a ton of life out there. They're all stuck on their home planet. Well, the idea is that you probably die. You know, if you get think about the technological advancement that we've done since the 50s. So it's like extrapolate that another 100,000 years, right? You know, humanity has only looked anything like what we know it to look like for 100 years. If that, you know, depends on what you want to say currently looks like. It looks like there hasn't been much stagnation for quite some time. Definitely not during my whole childhood. Everything has very, very quickly upgraded. Very quickly upgraded since I was a kid. So the theory is like if you extrapolate that over, you know, the next several 100,000 years, we either die or we become spacefaring, you know? We already are sending probes out to Mars and stuff like that and getting data back from it. What does another 100,000 years look like? Well, 100,000 years is not really long on the global scale of things. So there must have been planets who sprouted their, you know, intelligent life 100,000 years before us, you know? So what are those guys up to? They all died? That's what the Fermi paradox is about. And I think it's probably just global warming. They probably just burn stuff for energy and then they global warming themselves to death, and then we don't hear about them, and we probably pass each other like ships in the night, and it's like there's something and then they die, and then millions of years later there's something else and then they die, and then 500,000 years later there's something else and then they die, and then that's kind of it. We all just kind of miss each other. It's like having a reunion at your school, but every one of you only went one at a time and like looked around, didn't see anyone, and then left, and then the next guy came an hour later, looked around, didn't see anyone, and then left. Nick says exploration's wild and tough, but home is always where the heart belongs. I mean, like, exploration, though, if I wanted to make propaganda to get people to want to go, you know, explore, I would have written a story that was like, oh my god, we went out there and we all got our dick sucked. It was awesome. There's like free real estate all over the place. Everyone else is super weak. We're like the strongest people around. We should totally go out there and colonize. I want to tell a story about how, like, and then Johnny went out to colonize and the whole thing was terrible, and it really, really soured the mood. You said we can't see them because their light hasn't reached us yet. Well, that's why I say the observable universe. If the light hasn't reached us yet, then that's not part of the observable universe. Well, hopefully we figured out fission. Yeah, I think we're going to die before we actually can use fission. That will do a lot to get us further into space. It's going to require cheap, safe energy to get anywhere. It will. That's true. We do need to solve the energy crisis if we are going to, you know, really propagate, but I just don't think we will. I think we're going to kill ourselves. I think the capitalists are going to kill all of us. They're going to constrict and restrain and use up resources on this planet so fast to make more money that we won't be able to keep up with it, and we're all going to die from it, is exactly what I think will happen. Yeah, interstellar space is tough, for sure. For sure. Yeah, Star Trek's dystopian future setting where all the humans have problems have been solved through tech. The only thing left is wanderlust and hope of satisfaction and discovery of something new. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's up. You're saying that's dystopian. Like, to me, that is utopian. If the only thing I had to do was figure out what I want to do, that's not a dystopian thing to me. What's dystopian is what we live in right now, which is like I have to do stuff I don't want to do so that I don't become homeless and like freezing and starve to death. Like, I live in the wealthiest country in the world, and if you lose your job at McDonald's, the initial fear is, oh my God, I'll live on the street and be homeless. I think that's much worse than tech has solved, you know, our base problems. Your idea of exploration propaganda would definitely get me to Mars. Yeah, exactly right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the pandemic taught me that humanity has no hope. Yeah, no, we're fucked. We're absolutely just going to die. But whatever, you know, dinosaurs are around. And if anything, intelligence probably increases your, you know, death rate by a massive, like your extinction rate by a massive factor. Your intelligence also increases everything around you's extinction rate by a massive factor as well. But it's like the dinosaurs are probably going to have been here for millions of years longer than humans will have, because the dinosaurs weren't intelligent enough to start burning all the oil. So, you know, they got to stick around longer. We're going to have shot up real fast, change the climate to the point where we can't survive it anymore, die, and then other stuff will replace us, and we'll just be a footnote in the history of the planet, you know?
Monsieur l'a pas dit.
Told some friends about the news regarding fusion reactors, and they're fission reactors. Or no, fusion reactors, you're right. And they had the same take as you. We're never going to make it to the stars. No, we're done. No, we're going to die.
Je vous remercie pour mener vos responsabilités. Nous en avons terminé. Ah, mesdames! Ah, mesdames!
Just gotta chill.
Okay, actually, we can do this. Here we go.
Just gotta chill. Just gotta chill. Just gotta chill.
Nous vivons notre famille d'urgence. Donc, monsieur, mesdemoiselles. Mesdemoiselles, je prends comme...
Okay, let's take our time. Okay, let's start here then.
Adieu. Adieu. Adieu.
I like Star Trek TNG because most of the episodes are like their own little Twilight Zone mystery. Obviously, not all episodes are that format, however. Yeah, for sure. Will be the future species oil reserve in millions of years. Yeah, possibly. It's the fact that we stop physically adapting to our environment. We just evolve mentally to come up with ways to overcome our physical limitation, fire, clothes, etc. Well, Cosmo, I don't actually agree. The real problem is that the stuff that we've gotten so smart that we can change the environment faster than anything could evolve. You know, the amount of CO2 that's in the air now versus like 300 years ago is wildly higher because of stuff we've done. Evolution is a very slow process, and things need to evolve or need to adapt in the climate and the environment very slowly, so that your progeny have generations and generations to slowly adapt to it. We change things at a rate that you can't possibly. I mean, like, currently, I mean, with all the electronics and cell phones and stuff that we use, it's like we have not done a massive amount of we don't have like decades of research to see like what cell phone usage and stuff like that has done to people mentally. We're just advancing at a rate that we can't evolve to keep up with, so we still have the same chassis that we did from 50,000 years ago, but it's being expected to deal with a shit ton more than it used to 50,000 years ago, etc. Yeah, add millions of years, right? Yeah, for making oil, yeah, for sure. man, this thing goes back and forth from wildly loud to extremely quiet, and that's very frustrating because I have expressly designed it not to do that. So I don't know what to do. Uh-oh, wait, hold on. I did not ask for this. Okay. You're listening. Okay, maybe the limiter should be fine. Yeah, we'll just lower the... Try it like that. What about the Great Idiocracy filter? That movie seems more plausible than ever these days. I forgot who it was. Someone was talking about. They were breaking down why it actually doesn't really blend. Not to mention that it's a comedy. It's just not really all that legit. They weren't, going for scientific accuracy. I can't tell how much of this is like... I can't tell how much of this is my post effects and how much of this is like him just mixing the music extremely loud. I know sometimes he does that.
Oh my god. Wait for it just to get far.
The compressor filter isn't working in this scene. It's not really working at all. Like, it should be boosting it when it's quiet and then reducing the noise when it's loud. And I don't know, man. I'm getting a lot of mixy matchy stuff going on.
Wait for it just to get far enough that she feel like she got away and then still get shot. Oh, he just likes to hunt. He just likes to hunt. Wait, does he hurt the family? Okay, at least I don't have to watch that. Wait, does he hurt the family? Okay, at least I don't have to watch that. Because, my god. Ooh. Also, the only time I ever wear makeup is when I'm probably gonna cry. The only time I ever wear makeup is when I'm probably gonna cry. I've never cried at a Tarantino film, but this might be the difference.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain. Aldo Rain.
See, I don't know if she knew Brad Pitt was in this movie, which was kind of cool.
Oh, look at Brad.
I need me 8 soldiers. 8 Jewish American soldiers. Now y'all... 8 Jewish American soldiers. Now y'all might have heard rumors about the Armada happening soon. Well, we'll be leaving a little earlier. We're gonna be dropped into France dressed as civilians. Once we're in enemy territory...
PJ Novak.
As a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're gonna be doing one thing, and one thing... Civilian. In enemy territory... Civilians. Once we're in enemy territory,
PG Novak.
as a bushwhacking group. Once we're in it, now y'all, we'll be, well, we'll be leaving a little earlier. We're gonna be dropped into France, dressed as civilians. Once we're in enemy territory,
PG Novak.
As a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're gonna be doing one thing and one thing only. As a bushwhacking guerrilla army,
I think I know that guy too. Who's that guy? Inglorious Bastards cast. Let's see. He's not that guy. Can't find it. What up, Neptran? What's happening, brother man? How are you doing? Arianna, the Office fan, confirmed. Yeah, exactly right. Doing his best Matthew McConaughey impression. A little bit. Yeah, basically a little bit. All right, what did I miss from y'all? Yeah, Ava, Shoshana. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm further back than that. It's not you. Music is stupid loud in that scene. Okay, cool. It's not me. All right, excellent. That's a ridiculous shot to take with a pistol, let alone one-handed. Yeah, he doesn't end up taking it. There's so many movies where the music is too loud and the dialogue is too quiet. I agree. I always assume just because something... Oh, because it was a 5.1 rip and I only have stereo and no center channel. I mean, so that's a possibility, but you'll notice that it happens a lot in theaters too. The difference is just that they have it so fucking loud that you have to hear, you know, the theater quiet audio loud as well. I honestly, I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. It's weird. I don't understand why they do it. I don't know why movies don't compress more. You weirdly hate this scene. I mean, it's just, this is that other half of the movie, you know. It's like the movie has two different sides to it that are just wildly different. And yeah, I don't love this half either. Brad Pitt, The Office, looks like Doogie Howser's friend that always climbs in through the window. Yeah, it does kinda. Yeah, what's up? You're doing well. It's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. Anything new? You got any opinions, Ben, on the new crackdowns that YouTube's kind of going through right now?
we're in enemy territory.
PG Novak.
As a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're gonna be doing one thing and one thing only. Killing Nazis.
Skinny John Bernthal. He looks like someone. I can't remember who though, but it's alright. Yeah, YouTube just changed their policies on swearing or profanity. And it used to be that like you couldn't use any hard language in the first 30 seconds. They cut that down to, and then you couldn't use any hard language like fuck or shit in the first 30 seconds of your video. And then you couldn't have F words or S words happening like in rapid succession. The idea is what it used to say was like every other word or something like that. You couldn't have that. So Tarantino sometimes was a little tough, but it's okay. You can work around that. Now they've updated it to basically just be like, please don't use profanity. And they've gone backwards and like demonetized people's stuff. I had a handful of my videos get demonetized from it, and it's very frustrating. Yeah. It's yeah, Nebtrim, the language thing, yeah, I find it a terrible move. The thing that's so annoying about it is just the, like, it's first off, like, you can't change policies randomly and then retroactively make it a thing. If the policy was like, your videos can't be over an hour long, we're going to delete all your videos if they're over an hour long. It's like, well, that's not what I signed up for. I made them that long because I was allowed to do that. Now all of a sudden you're going to punish me. It's like, that's crazy. And then the other thing is I've been complaining about it forever. I just hate how YouTube every day wants to become more and more like live television. It's like it wants to be network. So it's like, yeah, we need to be squeaky clean like the network, you know, shows are. And we need to be like any kid can hop on any YouTube channel at any time and we can feel comfortable that that's like kid friendly, because they don't say kid friendly, they say advertiser friendly, but it turns out advertisers have the taste of like, moms with 6-year-old children. So it's very annoying that it just keeps pushing more and more that direction. I wish I could go back in time and start over in 2013. I just watched Cinebinge do Planet of the Apes, and I forgot how good the second movie was. So which Planet of the Apes? There's like 30. I'm assuming you're talking about the newer ones. That's why this is called Inglorious B words. Yeah, it is. But I don't know what I'm going to do for the full video, like, because I have to call it that so that my SEO is better. But it's like, I'm just nervous now. YouTube's got me scared. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, Ben. That's the thing that's really freaking the most frustrating is I hit up creator support and I was like, hey, man, like, when you guys do content ID, the thing says, because it's an AI that looked at this stuff. No one's watching all my videos to check for swear words, right? So it's an AI. It hops in and it goes, hey, look, there's some content ID issues here, here, and here. They're this long, long, and long. Go in there and trim them out or get demonetized. I don't understand why not age restriction, but like why ad friendliness is not treated the same way. It should be like, hey, look, dude, we caught some swearing in this section, or we caught some gore in this section. Do us a favor, go in there and just re-edit it on the YouTube editor, and we'll, reassess with the AI system again, or just say, screw it, I don't feel like it, and we'll just keep you, not ad friendly. But for some reason, for this system, they're like, nah, suck it. Like, it is what it is, brother. And then you got to just re-upload. But it's like, I have a freaking, Tropic Thunder has like 300-something thousand views. I don't want to, re-upload that video. It's going to be an algorithm nightmare. Very frustrating, man. It's really, not to mention also like just re-upload it. I don't have it. Like, you guys age restricted me after I deleted the source files. I don't just keep all my videos lying around. They're huge. Like, I don't have enough space for that, and if I did, what would I do with all of that? It's not like the videos are, it's not like they're a class I'm teaching people something where like they'll be useful forever. They're on the YouTube. That's where they are. That's where they need to be. There's nothing else to do with it. So yeah, I don't hold on to them. So it's just so annoying, man. So crazy. Yeah, the newer trilogy. Yeah, the second one's probably my favorite one as well. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Or Rise. No, Rise is the first one. Dawn. What's the third one called? War. Yeah, so Dawn's probably my favorite one. I just like the Koba character. I thought he was awesome. I don't love the lead though. I've never liked that guy that much. Does YouTube give a tool to censor language after uploading? No, it doesn't. Well, what's weird is it does, but not like, it's not a tool to censor. It's a tool to do some like light editing. I could do it with that tool, but they just don't let us, and that's the thing that's really annoying. Yeah, they very rarely, or they are very vague about what the issue with the video is. Yes, they are. I agree. I think on purpose so that they can just kind of say whatever and be like, yeah, that technically fits under here. I mean, dude, I just covered Braveheart. You guys covered Braveheart like a year ago. Is that right? I covered Braveheart and I just got it ad restricted because of controversial issues. Like the war in Scotland is apparently too controversial. Not to mention, I wonder if they mean controversial because it's like war, or I wonder if they mean controversial because like the movie's known to be what do you call it, super inaccurate. But I don't think that's what it is. They probably heard the phrase war a couple times, or the word war a couple times in the movie, and then said, oh, war, controversial, okay, boom, flag it. It's like, it's Braveheart, dude. It is a war from so long ago. I promise it's not controversial. So frustrating. Oh yeah, I saw Tropic Thunder is killing, so congrats on that, unless it got demonetized. It absolutely got demonetized for swearing that time. Best of luck on getting this out, not having YouTube F you. I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's probably going to be a crappy video to make it happen, but we'll see. We'll see if I can do it. You're going to bed? All right, cool, man. You have yourself a good night, all right, brother? Love the stuff. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, YouTube should have developed an integrated auto censor. You know what? I said the same thing, Wu Xiaoling. I said the exact same thing. I was like, it should just be one button you press. It should be like a Clippy who pops up and says, hey, bud, I see that you're working on a video here. It looks like you end up having, a little bit too much swearing in here for our censors. Would you like me to go and, bleep out or just like cut, the quarter second of audio it takes to cut out when a person swears on all of those, spots? Here they are. yes, Clippy, thank you. Click yes, and then boom, it just auto censors all that stuff, and you're good to go. I don't like, if that's the thing, it's an AI system, right? This is a computer that is looking at things and it's teaching itself what it is seeing and hearing based on looking at lots of footage, which means that it has a readout that has output. It's saying, hey, I found swearing here. It sounded like this and it was right here. So you have it isolated. Just get rid of it. And then even for gore, same thing. It's an AI system reading the screen and it's saying, hey, I see a lot of red right here. I'm going to assume that that's something gory. Okay, great. Take that little spot you're looking at and then put a nice little mosaic on top of it, mosaic blur, and we got ourselves like an automated, censoring system. It's crazy that that's not a thing. If anything, that should just be something someone makes. Someone should just make a freaking third-party app that just auto censors like that. And then when you are done like exporting your video, you can like run your video through that app and then it'll just like auto censor everything. And then bam, you got yourself like the censored version and the non-censored version and everyone's happy. It's just, I don't know, it's frustrating. You guys keep every video? What do you do with them? YouTube pushing creators to Rumble or something like that eventually. That's the problem though. No one else can compete. YouTube isn't pushing creators anywhere. They know that because they have the monopoly on the entire long form video content, spectrum. So there's no real competitors to YouTube. So it's just, they can do whatever they want because where am I going to go? I have nowhere else to go, right? It's like when you have like an abusive dad and he's like, where are you going to go? You're going to go be homeless? It's like, no, put up with it, deal with it, Well, and Russell Brand doesn't really matter anyway because Russell Brand is like so famous. If you're already like Hollywood famous, you don't need to worry about like what platform is going to work for you because you're just already famous. You can do kind of anything. Like the best thing to do is you just start a podcast. That's why every C-list comedian just has a podcast now. What I mean, like a general audience setting that real-time censors for users. Oh, yeah. No, that's interesting. Right. Yeah, so I just post my video and then that thing has like a real-time censor. Yeah, I don't know. I think that would be a huge processing problem, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. Or if it had almost like a version thing that it did, but that would be a huge amount of processing. I don't know. That's a tough one, but it's an interesting idea though, for sure, to have kind of like a click on or off thing. Yeah, if YouTube has such a problem with swearing, they should fix it. The onus is on them. I mean, I agree. I mean, at minimum, it's just don't set me up for failure, man. Don't let me like work on my videos thinking I understand the rules and then demonetize my stuff and be like, hey, by the way, yeah, like half of what you did in December is like worthless, like you might as well have not done it. It also sucks because it's like, it's Braveheart and Tropic Thunder. They're two movies I really thought would perform well. I was like happy to do them and it was kind of exciting. And then it's like, oh, well, crap. Like, I can't do Braveheart again. Like, it's done, So I basically wasted it because they were like, oh, hey, sorry, controversial issues. It's very frustrating. Damn, 3 terabytes worth of footage. Crazy. What'd you say? We keep them just for this reason. If there was an issue with an old video, I'll go into the original project files and edit them. Oh, fascinating. Okay. Well, see, what I do sometimes, if I care to, it never comes up. It has like once or twice when I wanted to try to start a second channel. Is that there's some pretty good like rippers that I can use. So I'll do that. But yeah, I just didn't want to deal with trying to have a crap ton of, storage files hanging around. Watching Cabin in the Woods for the first time, and I'm so shocked it just came to say this. Yeah, Danny, Cabin in the Woods is awesome. Danny, have you seen a lot of horror stuff before? Like old 80s horror that it's kind of poking fun at? Cosmo, then why does YouTube currently do it this way? It must be to benefit them some way, otherwise they frustrate creators for no reason or just trying to attract a specific type of creator. Well, it depends what you mean by do it this way. The fact that it can't go in and fix my videos, I don't know, to be honest with you. It really is a bad system because if I could fix my video, then it would be monetized again and YouTube would make more money. I would make more money. So I don't know what the problem is. As far as the whole like getting more and more persnickety about like swearing and gore and stuff, it's because YouTube is just trying to be as ad friendly as they possibly can. But it wasn't that long ago that they were the Wild West. So like in 2012, what's his face? I forgot his name, but there was like really, really, really edgy content on YouTube that was very popular. Leafy is Here. That's who I was going to say. Like Leafy is Here was huge. Joji was still Pink Guy. It's like everything is getting more and more kind of, you know, let's calm it down. Let's chill. We want to make sure that Coca-Cola is not upset. We want, you know, Downey to give us, you know, money. So everyone chill and everyone just, you know, make sure you're kid friendly and stuff. And that's just been happening and happening and happening and happening. It's just difficult because we're not even like an especially profane channel. You know, it's like the problem is just that like we like movies. I like movies. I want to talk about movies. I'm 35 years old, 34 years old. A lot of my favorite movies happen to be R-rated. We're doing Inglorious Bastards. So it's like, what do you want from me, man? It's like, well, y'all can have a reaction channel. You just need to make sure you only cover PG movies. It's like, it's so fucking annoying, man. It sucks. Only Nightmare on Elm Street, but since you bring it up, I can see it. Okay, great. My friend messed up first time watching Cabin in the Woods because he said he was shocked by the twist. So I kept waiting for a really big twist at the end, and it didn't happen. I mean, yeah, the movie's got a handful of twists. I mean, there's a big twist at the end, too. There's just a handful of twists. There's a inciting incident twist. There's kind of a mid-scene, you know, mid-movie twist. There's a twist on, like, some deaths that happen in a way that you don't expect or they don't happen at all. And then there's deaths that happen at the end, and like there's big, you know, what's going on is a big like what? That's what was going on. And then the very, very end, like right before the credits roll, is like a big like what? They really did that. So I think the movie is a pretty twisty kind of movie. I don't disagree with your friend. No Popcorn in Bed re-uploaded their Lord of the Rings trilogy reaction videos after figuring out how to get them monetized, and those re-uploads still get big views, so it might be worth a shot. Yeah, but those are like a year old, you know. I'm not trying to re-upload something I just uploaded a week ago, because everyone's gonna be like, the fuck is this? Not to mention, I also lose all of the metric data that like the algorithm has right now for like, oh, hey, things are trending up. Okay, cool, let's go ahead and show this to more people. You have to start over, and people go, wait, I've already seen this, let's re-upload. Okay, well, fuck this, I'm out. So, yeah, it's whack. I wouldn't say it's a version of expectation as a twist, really. It builds up towards the end and is over, and or like, if we don't do this, then this thing will happen. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I think a subversion of expectations can be a twist if the expectation is steeped in like the genre always kind of goes this way. Then if you subvert, I mean, in essence, a twist is a subversion of expectation. It's just kind of intensity is what we're disagreeing on. The Sixth Sense has a subversion of expectations. You expect someone to be something and they're something else, and that it's huge and stark, and so wow, we say it's a twist. So it's kind of like, you know, it's like all twists are subversions of expectation. It just has to do with intensity, basically, the degree to which that happens.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but I sure as hell didn't come down from the goddamn Smoky Mountains, cross 5,000 miles of water, fight my way through half of Sicily, and jump out of a fucking airplane to teach an exercise lesson in humanity. Nancy ain't got no humanity. They're the foot soldiers of a Jew-hating mass-murder maniac, and they need to be destroyed. That's why any and every son bitch we find wearing a Nazi uniform, they're gonna die. I'm the direct descendant of the mountain man Jim Bridger. That means I got a little engine in me. Now, I'm the direct descendant of the mountain man Jim Bridger. That means I got a little engine in me. And our battle plan will be that of an Apache resistance.
Ooh.
We will be cruel to the Germans. Through our cruelty, they will know who we are.
Okay.
Find evidence.
All right.
We will be cruel to the Germans.
Okay. Okay.
We'll find the
Okay.
We'll find the evidence.
All right.
Cruelty. And the disemboweled, dismembered, and disemboweled, dismembered, and
disemboweled.
Their brothers. And the disemboweled, dismembered, and disemboweled. And the disemboweled, dismembered, and
disemboweled.
Their brothers we leave behind us.
Mm.
And the German won't be able to help themselves. But imagine the cruelty their brothers endured at our hands, and our boot heels, and the edge of our knives. And the German will be sickened by us, and the German will talk about us, and the German will fear us. And when the German closes their eyes at night, and they're tortured by their subconscious for the evil they have done, it will be with thoughts of us they're tortured with. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
That's what I like to hear. But I got a word of warning for all you would-be warriors. You join my command, you take on Devitt. And Devitt, you owe me, personally. Warriors, when you join my command, you take on Devitt. And Devitt, you owe me. Devitt, you owe me, personally. Each and every man under my command owes me 100.
Okay, then we'll just do this.
You owe me.
We'll just start here.
Each and every man under my command owes me 100 Nazi scalps.
That's a lot. It's also a war crime, but whatever.
That is a big number, my guy. That is a big number, my guy.
Want my scalps.
Okay, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to fix this part because we stepped on it just a little bit. So what we'll do is we're just going to go ahead and back that guy up, let her finish her line, but then get back into I want my Nazi scalps.
Big number. That is a big number, my guy.
Want my scalps. And all y'all will get me 100 Nazi scalps taken from the heads of 100 dead Nazis.
Number, my guy.
Want my scalps. And I want my scalps. And
Sorry, I know that's not supposed to be funny. Sorry, I know that's not supposed to be funny. Oh. Oh.
Was alles soll ich von diesen Jugendschweinen noch ertragen?
See that? Okay, this is a good example. Like one of the issues I have is like hate speech. You know, is this hate speech? You know, is it hate speech if it's like written, you know, as text? I assume so. I got a question. What about swastikas? You know, like Jesus, man. Oh, I don't know. Earlier you mentioned there will be shows and not just movies on the channel. Are you willing to discuss what shows you're considering, or is it still up in the air? It's relatively up in the air, but I think I have some ideas. What did I say? What shows did I talk about? I said, nope, not those. All right, I'm thinking of starting with True Detective, The Pacific, and The Last Airbender. Is what I'm thinking of starting with. Hey, what about you, Ben? How do you guys feel about shows?
Oh.
Was alles soll ich von diesen Jugendschweinen noch ertragen?
Oh. Okay.
Meine Männer wie Fliegen.
You guys like shows? Yeah, I've always very much so disliked shows, but we're about to get started on them. Mainly because they're quick and easy to edit. Yeah, that's fair. I've got a couple theories on why shows could be useful. One of the big things I'm thinking about is like the ability to kind of bring people back over and over and over again. So it's like if you cover some 5-season show, people can kind of hop in and get involved and then kind of come back. Whereas, you know, we bleed a lot of people because they'll come over and be like, oh, awesome, you covered Terminator? Great. But then next week we cover like, you know, Inglorious Bastards. And then people are kind of like, well, and I like Terminator. I don't care about Inglorious Bastards. But if you can get them in on a show, then they're there the whole time. So that seems useful. So we want to try that kind of idea out. A little break throughout the week. Yeah, fair enough. Also, I know you're looking to do a show with The Last of Us coming out in 2 weeks. You can do the non-gamers watch The Last of Us. Yeah, we could. I mean, if it's good, I'll try to keep an ear out and see what's going on. I don't know. I'm not blown away, like, or not blown away. I didn't play The Last of Us and go like, wow, this has to be a show. This would be so much better as a show. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good idea for the channel, but you'll be busy with the editing. I will be busy. This is true. Yeah, True Detective has a very high quality per episode ratio. I do agree. You watch Buffy reactions and sometimes current show reactions if I think the reactors are cool, like your boy Roshi. I mean, your boy Roshi, though, like, is... like, what do you call it? And Ben, I'm with you. I'm definitely with you. You said view-wise, they're definitely not like movies. No, I've seen that, and that's why we avoided it for so long. But I have some other theories on why they could be useful. But unrelated coma, he said, your boy Roshi. So Popcorn in Bed, your boy Roshi, Natalie Gold, Our People, Blind Wave. They're all in a group of people that I don't pay too hard attention of like what has worked for them because they are in a spot where they can get away with a lot more than I can. So you may find yourself noticing that there's a handful of people out there who seem like they can kind of like, oh, these guys did really well with XYZ. Doesn't necessarily mean that we'll do well with XYZ. Okay, let's find some more music real fast to get back going on here. Here we go. Okie dokie. So, here we go. All right, let's think. Nazi symbols. See, like there's swastikas everywhere in this movie. I am screwed. What do I do about the Nazis? All right. Looks like we need Susan. Okay, but what do I do with Susan? Because I don't want to stack 80 little symbols up here to block every swastika on my timeline. What if I were to... All right, let's try it like this. What if I do this? Or what if we... Can I hop into fusion on this guy and show me anything? Oh, it will show me something. That is new. Didn't expect that. Did not expect that. Okay, what happens if I do this? Okay, obviously, that's what would happen. Makes sense. Okay, so, media 2, let's merge it. Boom, 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 and then boom. Okay, that's what I thought. And now what's going on here? Now, is that from this clip? Oh, thank God, I can do it like that. Okay, sweet. I did not think I'd be able to do it like that. That's going to be great. If I had a nickel for every hour I've watched different reactions to Breaking Bad, I'd have a gajillion nickels. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Privileged few, unlike the unwashed masses. If you turn them into pride flags, YouTube will promote the video. That's actually not true. They don't care. Man, I wish I started with DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I like it. I like it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I mean, having said that, as far as like wishing you started with it, it's like... I didn't start with it either. It's not like a ridiculous thing to learn how to do. Okay, here's the only problem. I don't want to... Do they have iterations on Resolve? Is there a thing I can do with this? I don't want to have like 8 different Susans on media ends. There's got to be like a clone or something I can use, right? Or like an empty... Some kind of iterative tool. How do I make clones or duplicates or something? Would it be duplicate? Ooh, duplicate. What does that do? Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. All right. What are you? Copies. 2. Now what? No? Okay, that probably needs to go like that. Okay, then what happens? I've never used this before, so forgive me as I click around and try to guess what this thing does. All right, copies. I don't know, but where are they? Time offset? Center. There we go. Now, why are they stuck in this weird little box? All right, lock size. No, okay. Angle apply mode. Over. Okay, word. Over. Held out. Am I stuck by the dimensions of her? I am. Okay, so then how do I fix that? How do I get more real estate? Let's think. Let's see. So this is media in. Okay, I got another question. What if I... No, I already tried that. That won't work. Can't do that. What about you? What's your deal? Okay, whatever. That may not be the way to do it either. Theoretically could. I would need this to be the same as other... Okay, whatever. Let's just do... Yeah, okay, well, let's just do it like this for now. I'm lazy. Okay, so there's so many swastikas. God damn. All right, so we're going to add nodes here, and we'll just do it in the color tab, and we'll just do it with power windows like normal. I guess that's a way to do it. Oh, I got a question. Can I power window Susan's face? No? Why do I feel like I should be able to do that? What am I missing? What am I not thinking about? Was there one of these that's like an image? I used too many different programs. Can't remember what everything can do. Alpha, matte, shrink, no. By the way, do you even need this scene? I don't like need it, but I need to get used to it because there's gonna be swastikas everywhere in this movie. So I just need to like come up with a nice quick process to be able to deal with the swastikas like ASAP. Oh man. Ambient Blade Runner music in the background. Yeah, I know. Hopefully it doesn't get me. Do a great job with Braveheart editing. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate that. Not everyone agreed with that, and that's fair. But it's a tough one because it's just a really long movie for sure. And you're wanting to not like belabor every little moment in it. You also don't want to feel like you're flying through it, which I may have leaned too far in that direction, but it is what it is. Okay, let's think. Because I can cover them all individually, or we could just kind of maybe like draw one line and kind of do like... So stupid. I hate this. I already hate this. Alright, is that all the swastikas in the scene? Okay, and then let's go ahead and open back up. What do you call it? Gauge and blur. Boom. Yeah, get those nasty swastikas out of here. Can't be looking at those. What about the eagle? Am I okay with the eagle? Do I have to block the eagle? Do I have to block the guy who looks like Hitler? What's going on?
Sorry, I know that's not supposed to.
Do I have to bleep the word Nazi? I mean, Jesus Christ, man. It's so annoying, dude. Let me look this up. Like, can I say the word Nazi on YouTube? Oh, my God. All right. Okay, it looks like you can say the word. Just can't upload any footage or anything of the Holocaust, obviously, which I don't plan to. I mean, like, God, they're just going to be everywhere in this movie. The reason I'm so stressed about swastikas is because, again, hate speech is a thing I'm not allowed to have in my videos. And then on top of that, like, American History X got hella demonetized. Actually, it got age restricted, which is like a heavier level of demonetized. And I really wonder if part of it was the swastikas, but I'll never know because YouTube hates me. So I don't know. Yeah, Tropic Thunder did really well. Knowing your luck, you'll go through all this effort, and then Susan will see it and get irritated by use of her face and demonetize that spite. I mean, yeah, it won't be her. It'll just be some AI. My issues all have to do with computers running my life. Yeah, Maple's like, YouTube's like an annoying helicopter mom. I'm like, exactly right. That's exactly what it's like. Okay, what's going on? Can I come film tomorrow instead? Yeah, sounds good. At 11? Okay, that means I should probably get to bed soon. I gotta think about a really nice, fast, and easy way to edit out the swastikas. Don't have anything off the top of my head. Inglorious Bastards is about American soldiers burning a group of German civilians in a cinema. No neo-Nazis here, Susan. Yeah, exactly right. Maybe just assume this one will be demonetized and half-ass the edit. No. Because the problem is, like, half-ass or not, it still just takes forever. And it's still... I'm not the only one getting paid. Like, it's Arianna's movie, so she's getting paid for this one. Like, it's my prerogative to make sure that I make the video perform as well as I can so that Arianna can pay rent. So if I like say, well, fuck it, you know, then the problem is like I've had her sit and watch a movie that she's not going to make any money off of. Every time we get demonetized, like I feel like shit because I'm basically their boss having to say, hey, sorry guys, can't pay you for that one. Sorry, you know, like that's awful. I wish, you know, YouTube could stand there in the room and have, you know, them explain it instead of me having to explain it every time. It's like, you know, yeah, no problem. So whatever. I'm gonna think about this. Since Maple wants to come shoot tomorrow, I should probably go to bed here soon instead of staying up all night doing this. Okay, cool. No, 11 works. Either way. So I'll do that, but before I go to bed, I'm gonna look up some easy ways to throw like a bunch of sensors on the screen. Here's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to have a situation like this. I don't want to be putting like 8 sensors, you know, on a screen at one time on the timeline like that, because it's just really ugly and hard to work with. So I want to see if I can come up with like some fusion way to do that easy. I'm sure I can. I'm just distracted. And then the other thing I'm going to do is figure out how to do the audio ducking thing. That's not as interesting, but it's something I want to figure out for streams because it'll make that part a lot easier. And I think it'll also help with the streams not getting constantly blocked. Although that's something someday I'm going to have to figure out. All of my live streams get blocked because we look at stuff, you know. YouTube's content ID system is just insane. I don't know what they want me to live stream. You know, it's like, I don't know. You can't. I don't know, man. I hate it. So whatever. Maybe just as soon as one. That was perfect timing of Tropic Thunder. It's been so long since people have seen it. Then there's a few reactions of it. That's true. Yeah, I'm with you. Super chats and merch. We don't have, well, super chats are enabled. We don't make any money off of super chats. And merch is like, what merch do y'all want? You want a t-shirt? Like, no, you don't. No one really wants any merch from a reaction channel. Maybe if we can finally figure out how to branch out of just doing reactions, then we may have a following where people feel connected enough to actually want some merch. But like right now, we're not even like, I'm glad you guys like this channel. I really appreciate it. But I just don't think that we stick out. I feel like we are, you know, drowning in a sea of lots of people who make this kind of content. I feel like we're like a sandwich, you know, salesman, and I just know we could do so much more. I feel like I'm wasting Arianna and Maple, you know, just doing reactions. I know we could do a lot more with movies. I just cannot figure it out, though. I'm having such a hard time getting YouTube to, you know, get with it, for the audience to get with it. Whenever we try to make an adjustment or do something a little bit outside of the scope of just reactions, they always just eat absolute shit. I will figure this out. I'm going to figure it out at some point. So we've got a couple ideas. We got some plans. We'll see how it goes. So I'll figure it out. Yeah, we already have a Patreon, Derek. Just saying, try to circumvent instead of adding on your workload when possible. Well, now, yeah, but that's what I mean, Wu Xiaoling. Like, they happened this week. Like, they just updated the, what's it called? They just updated the policy stuff, the ad friendliness policy stuff. So, like, I watched this movie when we were in a position where, generally speaking, this kind of movie I would be able to get past and we'd be okay, you know? But now we're at a spot where I just don't feel like it is. So, I mean, I agree with you. In the future, we're probably just going to watch a bunch of, you know, Truman Show level movies, like just a bunch of PG movies. So we'll probably take a break from the R-rated stuff for a little while because of this until YouTube gets their head out of their ass. We do brand deals. Okay, guys. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me while setting this thing up. And I will hopefully catch you tomorrow after Maple records. Love you long time, and peace. Later, Ben. Later, Wu Xiaoling. Later, everyone. Love you guys. Here's an idea. What if you just upload the same video that you upload to YouTube to Rumble as well? Two birds, one stone. There's just no point on Rumble. Rumble just cannot compete with YouTube. All right. Later, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.